Hello, welcome. Final installment of the Grand Wardrobe Tour. Let me pull up the chat real quick. How's everybody doing? We keep having this problem with the live stream where I will attempt to get one going and like start the queue of it waiting, and there's this bug or glitch or something where I'll say okay, cool, done. Those are all the settings I want to set for the live stream, and then it immediately freezes me out and makes it where I have to start over again. And then when I do start over again, it has two streams up. So this is the real stream, the one that's actually active, and I have no way of deleting the other stream. It's very confusing to me. I hate it. I don't care for it at all. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Hello. Let's come on in. Come on into the live stream. Hello John. Hello Dion. Hello Marley. What's up? Hi. Hey, quick mic check because I'm not actually in there. Is this too loud? Actually, let me switch to a part of this mix that is not down tempo so we can actually... There we go. That's what it'll be like most of the time. Is this an acceptable volume? My mom sent me pictures of the boiled eggs she made and burnt. Tell your mom to be more careful. Sounds good? Oh, the Fashion Archive stream just finished? That's hilarious. Okay, cool. So, hello everyone. We're gonna be going through the final parts of my wardrobe. This is part three for the Germans here. And Austrians. Austrians do it like that too. Part three, bruh. And what the original idea for this was that I was going to take one rack per week from my wardrobe, and we were going to just go through all of the items in my wardrobe, and we were going to talk about just anything that's relevant with that particular item. We were able to do that, and it was pretty straightforward. It was pants and t-shirts last week, and that was pretty easy category wise. This one we're kind of getting everything else that wasn't covered in the first two episodes, so we're probably gonna be moving a little bit faster this time. But I mean, again, the whole reason that I do these is because I don't usually like wardrobe tour videos. A lot of them seem like they're skipping over really special things really quickly. Thing that if you've gone to all these live streams, then you've heard me say this a couple of times where someone will be like, this is a Raf sweater, it's pretty oversized, I like it, it's green. These are some Dries pants, they fit really well, I like them and I wear them pretty often. These are, and where it's whoa, slow down. How did you buy those things? That sweater was $1,300. When did you buy that? Is there a story behind that? What does it actually look like on you and stuff? So the goal with all of this is so I can take time for my kind of middling wardrobe. I don't want to be falsely modest or whatever. I have a lot of clothes, but I really do not spend very much money on clothes. I got some things for free because I worked for Helmut Lang. I've been given things as gifts before, but as far as designer stuff, the absolute most that I've ever spent on a single article of clothing or accessory or anything is my undercover coat, and that was $375 shipped, which I know that, how many people do we have? We have 36 people in the stream right now, and that is very low compared to even, what I'm sure some people in the stream right now have spent on a single article of clothing, especially on shoes. Shoes can get very expensive very quickly. Most of the time, my average purchase for a designer piece of clothing is usually under $100. So, I'm really not cranking out a ton of money on this wardrobe, but I have a lot to say about these things. They're very special to me. A lot of these things are my prized possessions. So we're going to be doing the stream today wearing not an incredible fit at all. These are some shorts that have a little bit of texture on them. These are from American Apparel, RIP. I've loved these. They've been my wear around the apartment kind of shorts. We're gonna be wearing a Comfort Colors long sleeve shirt that was used to print a graphic for one of my family get-togethers. This was for my dad's birthday. We went to the we went to the actual Virginia Creeper Trail, which is a bike trail in Virginia that is named after the plant. And obviously Raph, I'm pretty sure, was naming his collection after the plant and not this place that we went to. But still, I took that and ran with it. And online ceramics was very big at the time. And so I was like, I want long sleeve tees and I want to be able to do like wild, like crazy, trippy graphics on the sleeves and stuff. And then I found out very quickly, I was reminded that I was not a graphic designer. And I was like, oh shit, okay, well then we're going to do the absolute, what's up, Maximilian? Hello, you and I share a name. My middle name is Maximilian. I'm gonna do the absolute simplest, quickest thing possible. And so I opened Microsoft Paint, which is a very expensive piece of software. I don't know if anybody has it. Microsoft Paint. And I very quickly drew a picture of a bike because we were gonna be riding bikes. And then I just put some necessary info on there, which is, oh my gosh, I can't read it. There's like some like joke. I think it's like my dad's birthday. And it says like his birth year, which I think is 1958 or 48, I don't know. And then to 2018, and then it says like still living. I don't know. I would take off my shirt, but you gotta join my OnlyFans for that kind of shit. Cool. So, and then also beanie from Zam Barrett. I love this beanie so much. I was in New York and it was freezing fucking cold, and I needed a beanie so badly. And yeah, 1958, still living. Because usually if you like say to like 2018, it means the person died. I was freezing cold and I needed a beanie so bad. This is when I did the New York meetup. And I stupidly did not bring a beanie, but I really wanted one that was like actually like wool and like legitimately warm. I did not want to get like a beanie that said North Face on it and was just like made of polyester. I was not interested in that at all. So I got this guy and served me very well. And I originally put it on, like when I was in the store, I was like, yes, Zam, I need a beanie so bad. He was like actually at the store, it was pretty cool. I was like, Zam, I need a beanie so bad, this is great. And I like put it on and did like the droopy back of head hipster thing that I guess was like really big like 8 years ago. And droopy way of wearing a beanie. And Zam like reaches up with both hands and he was like, please do not wear it like that. And he fixed it. And now it looks a little bit, kind of, I guess vaguely like a head wrap, sort of. But it is obviously clearly not a head wrap. It is not a religious piece of headwear. And really, I feel like that was my only concern at first, is that I was like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm like being shitty and like wearing like Sikh headwear or something as like a cool fashion thing, even though I'm not Sikh. But I don't think it's too much in that vein. Like, I think maybe from like a distance, if you like just barely see it, maybe one could think that, but I don't think this in any real way looks like a religious head wrap. So that's the fit. Also the hospital bracelet, because I wear this most days. Oh, what's up from DC, Mike? Oh, Mike is in like, is DC, I imagine DC's gotta be in like super lockdown right now. Over here, we are not officially in lockdown in middle of nowhere, Virginia, but I think we are inching towards it. Pretty much right now, it's like if you go anywhere, you are like the lord of that place. I went to a Second and Charles to just like browse around at anime and stuff, and I was like, damn, I am the king of this Second and Charles. This is like a full warehouse of secondhand media, and I am the only one in here. It is me and some employees. Like, they should be asking me what kind of music I want to listen to on the loudspeakers. Oh yeah, oh man, David's in Italy. What's up? Damn, can't even go out for a walk. Yeah, I've heard about that. I just finished the White House press announcement thing, like updating everybody about the virus, and I was reminded why I do not watch official White House press release things, because even for like presidencies that I've been like okay on, like sometimes happy, sometimes not, unlike this one where I'm just always upset. It's stupid. Like if someone as like high ranking as the president is talking, they're never going to say anything for sure to you. It's always just going to be like, you know what? There's been some challenges, but things are going, they're going pretty well. We expect it to be great in the near future. Had some challenges, doing fine now, great in the future. Like that's all, and then it's like, does anyone have any questions? Yes, question. That's a great question. We did hit some challenges in the beginning, but I think we're doing a lot better now. It's gonna be great moving forward. Like, it's just, everything is like just total, it is complete bullshit. There is no real information there. So, I don't think I'm gonna watch any more of those. Should we get started? I think we should get started. This has been enough like intro palling around stuff. This live stream is brought to you by my Patreon. Did anyone know that I had one of those? Let me pull this up so that I can actually know if somebody signs up for the Patreon while we're doing this, so I can shout them out in a big, strong way. Yeah, you should get on my GDMF and Patreon if you are not already, because it is poppin'. And I know that a ton of people in the chat right now are already on the Patreon and are total G's for doing so. Yeah, and if you are bored, like Coolsome the One, what's up, Coolsome? Coolsome's always on our live streams. And Biscuit's always here too. What's up, guys? And Scum, hello. No One, hello. Orlando, Mike's here. Nikolai, Julian's here. Kai. What up, D? Thanks, D. D said, I love the background music. It's Midland. It's a mix by Midland from last year. And Kelly, what's up? I would love to come to Dallas. Like half of the people on my Patreon are from Texas. I don't understand why such a like heavy number of people from Texas, but apparently Texas is like super well dressed and supportive of good content on the internet. But everybody's here. Let's get started. Join my GDMF and Patreon. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. We begin with another, this is another gift that Lynn's got me for my birthday. This is a hoodie by Robert Geller. The thing that is most notable about Robert Geller to me typically is that Robert Geller is, the textiles are Japanese and it is made in Japan. Oh, what's up? Malaysia in the house. Malaysia in the cut. Designed in New York, fabrics from Japan, and it is made in Japan. So this is just a really solid, pop over hoodie thing. Has its little zipper detail, the like distinctive Robert Geller zipper thing where the suede side is facing out. Only complaint with this ever is that I really love wearing this on just my skin. That's what I do with most stuff, is I just kind of pop it onto my skin and then dry clean it if, start to get some problems with the oils or whatever. But if I'm not doing like stressful exercise things or like, running around outside, then I'll just kind of pop things on. And the only thing about that is that this zipper is will occasionally smell kind of bad if I don't like actually like clean that the way that one would clean like jewelry and stuff. But yeah, this one is pretty cool. I love this hoodie. Blammo. We're gonna be throwing some of the stuff on today. Not absolutely everything, but we will be throwing on some stuff. So I really enjoy wearing this, just kind of like, I'll like have it on like this a whole lot, where it's just sort of like barely on. Yeah, I like it a lot. Robert Geller makes very good casual stuff that's just well made. Cause like, I really don't, I understand this is sort of like sacrilege or whatever, but like I really don't like Champion hoodies, and I really don't like Gildan hoodies, or tees for that matter. And Robert Geller, in my opinion, is somebody who does a pretty good job of not like going like bonkers, like crazy on like this detail and this detail, and we're gonna use this crazy fabric or whatever. But he just makes good basics. All right, so are we sure this music is not too loud? This is distinctly louder than it was last week. I'm fine with it. Is everybody else okay with it still? Music, yes, no? Perfect volume. Okay, great. Well, this is like nice and loud too. This is like the volume that I would listen to it if I was just like hanging out by myself. We're also going to be good and actually like hang these things back up as I'm going, so I do not have like an hour and a half cleanup later. Next up, number 2, My single favorite article of clothing that I have ever owned in my entire life. Are you fucking ready? Helmut Lang cashmere zip-up hoodie. I am not exaggerating when I say this is my actual favorite article of clothing that I have ever owned in my entire life. Helmut Lang, specifically Alexander Plakov, knocked it out of the effing park with this hoodie. So, we have, I want to say it's 2% spandex and the rest is cashmere. Yep, 2% spandex, the rest is cashmere, and it is, it's wonderful. I have not owned anything cashmere before this, and I have not bought anything cashmere after it. I got this for free. It was part of my uniform at Helmut Lang, and it is it's perfect. And I see now why cashmere is something that everybody likes so much. Oh, what's up, Virginia homie? What's up, Obi-Wan? Yeah, it's beautifully warm. It's very warm, but at the same time, it's very breathable, so you don't feel like you're getting overheated. A lot of times what I do not like is this, it's like someone who's like a textiles expert or like a doctor might need to help me out here. But like, there's something about like the way that different fabrics insulate you, where like natural fibers tend to warm you up in this way that's more like sustainable. Whereas like synthetics, it's almost like sitting next to like a space heater where like, yes, this is warm, this is making me warmer, and maybe it's making me warmer quicker in some way, but like, I'm not gonna be able to just sit next to this space heater for very long. Like I'm gonna be sitting here next to the space heater, I'm gonna be like, okay, too hot now, and I'll like start walking away. Like, you know that like nauseous feeling that you get after a while where like if you're wearing just like something that is very warm, oh, like if you wrap yourself up in one of those like blankets that are like super fuzzy or whatever, but they're completely made of polyester, and so like you like wrap up in that, and if you just stay in it, you'll like start feeling like kind of nauseous. So there's that, and then there's like this, which is like, this is very warm, and I'm in kind of a warm room right now, so like this is bordering on like too hot, but like the way that it warms you up is like a very breathable kind of warm, and so it's more like sustainable, I guess, as far as like your personal body heat is concerned. Okay, so Andrew said cashmere is 10 times better at insulating than wool. I imagine it is, even though wool is like miracle fabric. I fucking love wool. Anyway, so one of the things I love most about this is that it is double zipped, which, I mean, if a jacket isn't double zipped, does it even have a zipper? I don't think so. These are just regular YKKs. They're size 8s, size 8 zippers, so they're pretty fucking chunky. They're really big. This zipper took a little bit to get used to, but after I did, it's wonderful. So like we can zip this guy all the way up, and it's just pretty form-fitting, nothing like too swanky about it. It fits the same as the Robert Geller one, where it's like kind of this like tube that your head is sticking out of. I do not wear it like this very much, but typically what I'll do is I'll like unzip this a little bit, so it's more like a, you know, Assassin's Creed kind of hood, Assassin's Creed type beat, and then I will typically take it and make use of the double zip, so I can just like wear it like this, and it is, you know, much more of a like casual look. And this also makes it where it doesn't look like ridiculous when you're sitting down, where it doesn't like bunch up and make it look like you have a very strangely shaped boner. So it's able to just kind of like fold over your legs in a really nice way. I like it a lot. Double zips are the best. Leg reveal. He said leg reveal. Let's see. Are they inside out? Oh, the seams? I think, okay, my theory for this is that these seams, okay, so they're like exposed. Someone was asking what these seams are. My theory is that this is for looks, and that they had to attach the arm pieces. So the sweater was in 3 pieces, and that they just attached the arms, and that the other ones are just kind of for decoration. But yeah, these are exposed seams. Like if you've been watching the Margiela series, this is sort of the way that the seams were for a lot of his knitwear that were like facing out. So he just basically, yeah, reverse engineers the seams so that they are facing outward. And typically seams like this the way, if this was underneath, it kind of makes it where it falls more evenly over something. And so like in the Margiela series, they had those seams like right here. And so like something that would typically cause a knit piece to like fall more evenly over the bust was instead reversed, and then they had this like little line thing all the way across like the chest, and so it wasn't falling very evenly over the bust, and thereby like kind of emphasized the bust a little bit. It was like one of those like cool things. You can catch this in the first episode of the Margiela series. It's a brilliant little thing that he did where he was just kind of exposing the nuances of technique in clothing making that made it where he was able to kind of sort of reveal the like secrets of clothes, like things that sort of like, yeah, this makes it where it's going to look like better over your boobs or whatever. But then by him like kind of taking that and instead of very subtly applying it to the garment the way that everyone else was, he was telling everyone very loudly by putting it on the outside of the garment about the secret, and thereby like it sort of emphasizes your boobs more. And so like it kind of, he sort of ended up like playing it so that it's sexier in my opinion. Very cool. So this is probably because like, you know, Alexander Plakov is a smart guy and probably studied Helmut's work a whole lot, and he was working around the same time that Margiela was, and so this is probably something that the avant-garde guys were doing in the early 90s, and so this is probably a layover from the Helmut Lang archive. Yeah, this I've worn this untold amounts of times. I have fallen asleep in this hoodie untold amounts of times. I love it so much. I will wear it until it is gross. So this is my single favorite piece of clothing of all time. I love it. Also, I think I just like green articles of clothing. I think I'm just into green clothes. Someone asked a good question. Where is Plakov at nowadays? I do not know. I wish I did know. I'm not sure what that man is up to. Whew. It's La Croix time, folks. La Croix. Mango, La Croix. Seriously the best one. Oh, hey, we have an answer. Cool. Alexander Plakov is doing his own line at the moment called Nomenclatura. Anyone know what that means? Seth, we're listening to a mix by Midland that came out last year. He's sampling a song called Flying Lessons that is brilliant. It's like an incredible dance song that is very underrated. I'm trying to remember what. Oh yeah, hopefully we switch into the full song. Yeah, we switched into the full song. Hang on, I'm gonna turn this up. The synthesizer on this song is wild. I wish he would just play the full song, but he's adding all these little like laser sounds into it, and it doesn't sound as good in my opinion. All right, so let's see. There we go. There's the synthesizer. Okay. I am always going to be very tempted to turn this into a house music podcast or a anime podcast where I just end up talking about those things. So we're going to resist that urge. That's awesome. Alexander Plakov is doing Oh, someone said it's nomenclature. Can someone figure out what this brand is actually called? Because nomenclature that's just like an English word. Okay, the nomenklatura were a category of people within the Soviet Union and other Eastern Bloc countries who held various key administrative positions in the bureaucracy. Okay, cool. It's also very close to the English word nomenclature. Has a similar meaning to bourgeoisie. No, bourgeoisie is more, that's a, I think of that as an economic term. I guess it's like a Marxist theory term, but like it's essentially the middle class. What that sounds like is what's called the, not the proletariat, because the proletariat is the poor, but the aristocracy. Aristocracy would be closer to what he's describing with these nomenclature people. What's up, access granted? What's up, Grant? Oh, Luke, I really love Aphex Twin, and on the last live stream, on the last clothing wardrobe tour, I went on a little rabbit trail about an Aphex Twin set that I thought was absolutely brilliant. All right, so let's keep moving. Yeah, Alexander Plakov is the man. I really like him a lot. And I really want to meet Alexander Plakov too. I have like multiple like friends that are friends with him, and I like want to be like, okay, I'm like pulling the card out. I want you to hook it up. Introduce me to Alex, please. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, if anybody wants that Aphex Twin set, just it's because I remember it now. It's Aphex Twin at Field Day. It was the set he did in England. It was like his first set in 8 years. This is one really where it is worth it to, if anybody does want to pull that up, Aphex Twin Field Day, it's worth pulling up on the flat screen and like watching it at night and stuff, and like having like your actual speakers hooked up to it and all this stuff. It's incredible. It's very good. All right, let's keep moving. This is another birthday gift from Lindsay. She is literally the only person who is able to buy clothes for me and like make a good go of it. My in-laws and my parents have essentially given up, which is wise of them, on buying me clothes. But this is a old like Yves Saint Laurent wool sweater, which is wonderful. It is not itchy at all. I'm not sure what kind of wool it's using, but it feels wonderful. It honestly just feels like cotton, but it is definitely wool. The only real complaint I have with this is the zipper is a little bit flimsy, but other than that, I like it a lot. So this one is very tight fitting, which I actually like a lot. Ugh. Here we go, the collar and stuff and everything. Kind of cool, right? That can be like tucked down or tucked up. Sorry if I'm wearing black clothes. I look like I'm like shimmering with like nuclear radiant light. I especially like the sleeves on this bad boy, because it's like they're like kind of puffy, right? Cool. Yeah, like all sweaters, it kind of sits right here, and I sort of like get this like disc-shaped gut, which is very cool, very appealing. But yeah, overall, I love this thing. It's very good, and I like geometric, like color blocked stuff. That is just universally very appealing to me. But yeah, haven't gotten to wear this one very much because we didn't get winter here on Earth this year for some reason. Kind of strange. I don't know. Yves Saint Laurent. This is another thing that's going to make it look like I am glowing with nuclear radiant light, but it's by Opening Ceremony, and I personally feel like the in-house brand of Angel Battle 2019, yeah, the in-house brand of Opening Ceremony is surprisingly good. I've owned a couple of things from them, and they do interesting twists on basics, which a lot of brands claim to do, not a lot of brands actually do. Here we go, Bliss, glowing with radiant nuclear light. All right, I'm just gonna show you briefly what this looks like, because it's pretty basic, pretty basic, not a lot to this one, but there is a cool little secret with it that I like a lot. Okay, so this thing does not have a shoulder seam, that's one thing. And so it sort of like has this sort of, slip my shoes off here. Sort of has this like kind of pajama top feel to it. What you're seeing right there is the seam of my t-shirt, not the seam of the shirt. It is slightly sheer. You can like almost, you can almost see like the red of my shirt underneath it, or at least I can. And it has this kind of like waffly print to the whole, waffle knit to the whole thing. So I like that a lot. The sleeves, this is the cool thing about it. The sleeves are elastic, sort of like the bottom of like joggers. And this is, so to me, this is like the big benefit of not constantly buying new clothes. It's because you're gonna wear stuff sometimes and you're gonna discover things about it that you didn't even realize. I'd owned this for months before I realized you could do this. So what I do is I move the elastic up just above like kind of the pop of my elbow, and then I move the rest of the sleeve down over it. It's a very like flimsy little fabric, so it's very willing to do that. And then I kind of almost have like a kimono sleeve kind of deal, which I love a lot. I think that looks incredibly cool. So we just now just like have this like very like just sort of open sleeved, kind of an open-ended sleeve kind of deal, which I think looks really beautiful. I love that. I really, really like this shirt a lot. This is one of my favorites. Those feet, what? All right, any questions? Just looking directly at the sun. True. Sweet. Get this guy hung back up because we're being responsible. We're not going to have an hour and a half cleanup. We're going to clean as we go. Jeez, that contrast is killing me. Where like I just suddenly start like glowing. All right, pants time. I have a lot of pants here. So some of these we can move through pretty quickly because I honestly do not wear them very much, but these are outstanding. These are just some very basic shorts by Acne Studios. You know, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but Acne shorts. I guess they're a little tight on me, but just I mostly like the color. Just very pretty straightforward shorts. Not a whole lot super crazy about them. Acne makes really good basics. I don't know. If I had to pick like 3 brands that I had to wear like their new collection by them for like every season I had to switch to whatever that brand's new collection was, I'd probably pick Acne Studios. Because it's like kind of trend driven, not really, it's like sort of trend driven. Like they're aware of trends, but they have very much their own just take on everything, and the clothes are really interesting, but there's also just a lot of like solid basics. I love Acne. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have like a few different pieces of denim that were given to me by a friend who collects clothes and is trying to minimize his life a little bit more. So I haven't really found a purpose for him yet. This is, this is Ed Hardy. Got that. Ed Hardy is such a unique thing that I don't want to get rid of it, because it's still a little bit cringe to some people. I know that like a lot of people now are like wildly in like a yes, Ed Hardy, fuck yeah kind of zone. I'm old enough that I still remember that like the only people who wore Ed Hardy were dickheads when Ed Hardy had like stores in malls and stuff. I mean, this was peak asshole clothing. Cool aesthetic though. I mean, as always, Ed Hardy comes with the really unique look to everything, and he's signing like the top of your ass and stuff. It's pretty cool. So I'm keeping them. I like them. I mean, when he offered them to me, I was like, yeah, I will gladly take that. Yeah, he was a big like denim head in the early 2000s. So like we have those, and then we have these that are by RMC, Martin Casoho. Not sure exactly who that is, but he assured me that all the denim he was giving me was like super like swanky denim. Yeah, Douche Core 2060. Let's see, are these Japan Boys denim? Let's see, where were you made? Oh, made in Hong Kong. Okay, well, Hong Kong's cool. Let's see. Yeah, Martin Casoho. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but this is like a wash of denim that I'm not really into right now. This like kind of like dark dad wash. People talk about dad jeans all the time. This is really what dads are wearing. They're like doing this and they're being like, yeah, like, you know, dark wash denim. It's very flattering. This is what real dads are wearing. Not this part of it, but like, you know, this color. And I'm kind of over jeans right now. I'm not really wearing any jeans at all. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, so I have 2 pairs of Helmut Lang denim. One is the super crazy ones that you guys see me in all the time with the fringe and stuff. This is my other pair of Helmut Lang denim that I got while I worked there. I have worn these so much. I wore them so much that I like ripped a hole in the back of them, which Lindsay was kind enough to repair for me. Yeah. Someone asked why I shaved my head. This is just like so I don't have to do maintenance stuff. Like when it gets long enough that, excuse me, I have like a bunch of fuzz in my mouth. That was really gross. When it gets long enough that like when I wake up after sleeping, if the shape of my hair can be affected by having laid there and stuff, and like I wake up and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta fix my hair now. There's usually time to make it shorter. I might be into like doing a hairstyle again sometime soon, but I don't. Right now I'm just kind of like I have a lot of stuff I have a lot of stuff like with the channel to do, and I have a lot of stuff like with work things to do, and I'm just like I need to minimize decisions and maintenance in my life, and one of the ways to do that is like this. Wear a wig. I feel like that's something that guys could get into pretty easily. Like I realize that there are some men who wear wigs, but like, and there are some men who wear like wigs for fun that don't even feel like they need to have to. But like, I feel like there's like a small barrier to get over there with like the uncomfortableness of like wearing hair of another person, which does freak me out a little bit. But like after you can get past that small barrier, it's like with what the director said about Parasite. It's like if you can get over the small barrier of the subtitles, you will open up a whole new world. Also, since my hair is really short, you guys want to know something really crazy about my body? Do you want to know something really crazy about my body? So my head is not shaped like evenly, and everyone's like, no. There's crazier stuff about my body that I'm not going to tell you about today, but I have like a divot right there in my skull that is pretty easy to like cover up over with just like, I mean, as long as my hair is all like even, it doesn't really look like it, but I don't know. Can you see that at all? Like it's just like boop, right there. It is a full divot, and all of that is still like bone, but it is definitely a divot. That might not have even been visible. Was that even visible? I got the Margell Hospital bracelet like 3 weeks ago. I like it so much. I wear it all the time. This is my preferred way of wearing it too. I like wearing it over clothes. Does it make it hard to buzz your head? Not really. I mean, just because I've done it so many times, I kind of know how to accommodate for it. Maybe if someone was like not a hair cutter and they tried to do it themselves, then like it would be kind of hard. The hospital bracelet was pretty pricey. It was like $235, which is more than I am accustomed to spending on clothes, and certainly more than I am used to spending on an accessory. But this is something where, like, when I was like asking, I was like, I realized this is like an impulse purchase, but I found a hospital bracelet and I would really like to buy it. Lindsay was like, I've had a eBay alert set up for years for a Margiela hospital bracelet. Please fucking buy it so that like this like search that both of us have been on for years can be over. So I got it. Pretty happy. This is the MM6 version, so it's not like the hospital bracelet, but I'm completely cool with that. So helmet lying denim. I've put oh yeah, this was the thing that was wrong. Yeah, okay, so I still need to get this repaired about it, is that the pocket has been blown out. I need to get the pocket replaced on it really bad. Which is a shame because these pockets are made of silk and they feel incredible. Like, they're really nice to put your hands into, but yeah. And also, if you don't sign your helmet lying stuff, you're a bozo. Whoop, I'm gonna get out of the shot so it can, I can't see it. Why can we not see it? There we go. Blammo. Sign your helmet lying stuff. Unless you're like literally like buying it to flip, which if that's the case, it seems like you're spending an awful lot of energy. So you can, I don't know. The like constantly buying and reselling things seems sort of like a zero-sum game to me. I mean, unless you are doing it on a massive scale, like unless you are like, this is like a huge part of my life is doing this. But if you're just like every like 2 weeks, like buying a new designer Jean, and then you're like just posting it up on Grailed and continuing to wear it and like waiting for something to sell so that you can buy something else, like, I don't know, that seems like a go big or go home kind of situation. Maybe I do not understand the economics of it, which is very possible because I, don't do that. Gosh, I want a grilled cheese like really bad. Does anyone want to make me a grilled cheese? These are these are skinny, very skinny cargo jeans. These are like painted on skinny cargo jeans that are from a brand that is pretty high quality. This is from Hot Topic. So, don't be too jealous, guys. But I have some Hot Topic jeans. These are from when I was still, I want to say I was in college. I was like 20 when I bought these, and I don't know. I still use them for outfits occasionally. These look incredible with my undercover coat. That's the primary use for them right now, is with the undercover coat. Bloop, bloop. Cool. So those are pants. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this since it's on the floor right over here. It's like the only item I couldn't hang up. This is one of my favorite kind of unexpected articles of clothing. This is a sweater that is not wool. I mean, this is like cotton and poly blend. I think, I wanna say, yeah. Oh man, this care tag is almost completely destroyed. No, so it's 95 cotton, 5% spandex. Oh, but it is made in the US of A. Look at that. So the actual fit of this thing is, it's cool, I like it. It's not predominantly why I wear it, just to wear it like this, but like, this is quite oversized. This is a medium, I think, maybe a large, but quite oversized. I got this when I was working at Wish in Atlanta. It's a sneaker and streetwear clothing store. This is by a company called Skim Milk, which mostly makes like graphic tees and stuff. But yeah, I like them a good bit. They don't come up with a lot of stuff. I have a feeling that maybe it's less of a business and more of just like a personal project of one of the founders. Really, the way that I prefer wearing this now is I'll do like this and wear it kind of like a scarf or something. I have some fit pics on Instagram of me wearing it like this, but this is sort of my favorite way of wearing it. I promised in the beginning that we would not do like a whole lot of like how to style like your favorite like whatever kind of stuff, but this is one that I really do like this move a lot. This, and then kind of the final move for that is Holy shit, I said I was gonna be cleaning up as I went and I've already broken this rule somehow. Oh. Here we go. This, in my opinion, is like the peak way of wearing this. Is like this. This is how I really enjoy doing this. Maybe a different shirt underneath, but yeah, this is like my ideal way of wearing this sweater. So something that I picked up from Rachel Seville Tashjian, who is the one of the style writers at GQ, and she's maybe the best writer that GQ has right now. She's absolutely incredible. She was like, when you're buying like an article of clothing, don't be completely tied. Like, be willing to buy an article of clothing so that you can wear it like another article of clothing. Like, she was like, she said that she's like, I've purchased sweaters before so that I can just wear them as like this. She's like, I've literally purchased whole sweaters before so that I can wear them like this. And she was like, and I do not regret that decision at all. It looks incredible with like 3 or 4 different like outfits that I wear fairly consistently. Yeah, pretty brilliant. Somebody asked what the brand was again. They must have just jumped in the chat. This is by Skim Milk. This is definitely not available anymore. I bought this in like 2014. But yeah, the brand is called Skim Milk, and I think the website is called like drinkthismilk.com or something. But yeah, I like it a lot. Heyo! This is one of my favorite shirts that I've ever owned. This is a bowling shirt, and that's actually capturing the color pretty well. This is Silk and Velvet, and I am Dr. Manhattan. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing that. This is a vintage one that I got. I do not buy a lot of clothes in person. Most of my clothing shopping is over the internet because I just don't impulse buy a whole lot of things. I don't like being like in a store and having the like thought of like, oh my gosh, wait, should I get this? Or not a huge fan of that feeling. But this is one where I was in a vintage store and the people there knew me, and he was like, I know something that you will like. And he went to the back and pulled this out, and I was like, how much is that? And he was like, it's $40. And I was like, done, sold, put it up front, I'm buying it. And it was the quickest impulse buy that I've ever made in my life. I like to affix this Pintrill button to the front of it. Whoop. Gosh, can we please get... How do I make this not freak out with the contrast? There we go. I like this guy a lot. It's kind of like disco smiley face thing. But yeah, everybody I'm sure has seen me wearing this many times on the channel. This is probably my favorite button up that I own. It's by a company called BC Ethic. No idea who that is. I think I tried looking them up one time and they like just don't exist anymore. But their stuff is absolutely sick. Yeah, love this shirt. This is a shirt that I got from a Plato's Closet back when I was like 20. Maybe I probably owned this for a solid decade. This is a very like Vivienne Westwood school of punk kind of designed shirt. It is just like a somewhat standard plaid. It's very tight on me. This was awesome in my indie slut phase when I wore like a lot of shirts just like totally open. Be like walking around my campus and just like have like a button up and maybe like have like just this button up and like the rest of it's just like hanging open and stuff. And I would wear tons of stuff that was like very midriff showing and stuff. One time somebody drove past me in a car as I was walking down the street with my girlfriend, now wife, and yelled slut out the window. And I don't think they were talking to Lindsay. They were talking to me. It was pretty sick. Anyway, it has this print on it. Very like Vivienne Westwood kind of like undercover vibes. I love this so much. It is so cool. It like has like the memories of some pockets on it. These never were pockets. The only thing I've modified about this is that I took the collar off because the collar was kind of weird in my opinion. I didn't really love the collar. But I love snap shirts too because in my friend group in college we had this thing where there was like this running joke where if someone wore snap shirts, you would like sneak up behind them and like grab this and like rip their shirt open and run off. And like none of us ever wore undershirts with anything, and so it was yeah, it's a fun little thing that we did. And so I like bought up a bunch of like snap shirts and so did like all of my friends so that we could do this hilarious prank on each other. Anyway, but yeah, mostly this little graphic guy is beautiful. And also we have a lot of like fringe hanging thing. Oh my gosh, unless somebody, oh no, there we go. There's some of it right there. A lot of these little like fringe dangling things that I really like a lot. It is a little bit tight, like for now. I have not grown a whole lot in my waist in the last like 10 years, but like it's tighter than I prefer to wear things now. I used to wear this with like no undershirt at all, and it was, I mean, you can tell like my midriff is like right there. Like if I just like raise my shoulders up, like my belly button is almost showing. So this is not really like something that I like to wear clothes very much, and so like I'll typically just like have it on and wear it open now. So it's just like a layering piece now, but I really like it a lot. The plaid is like this very like moody, dark, a Nebraskan secret kind of plaid, in my opinion. I like it a lot. I love this thing. It's by a brand called, I tried to look this up one time. I think this is a fast fashion brand that like peddled their wares through Macy's and stuff at one time. But Keenan Duffy, I have no idea who that is. The brand is called England's Dreaming. Drinking? England's... No, it's Dreaming. It's an M. Okay. I was like, England's Drinking? That doesn't make any sense. Cool. That guy. Love that shirt so much. This one, all right, we have a bulldozer up next. This is a crazy one. So this is a shirt that I found at, what's that store? Okay, New York homies, help me out. What's that store that's it's in Brooklyn, and I think there's multiple in Brooklyn, but it's a secondhand store, but it's very curated. There's a lot of selection, and there's just a ton of designer stuff in there, and it's very, very cheap. I'm not talking about Tokyo 7. It's not high-end. Nothing in there is like $400, but like yeah, Beacon's Closet, thank you. I picked this up at Beacon's Closet. I had never been there before I went to New York for the recent meetup. And the guy that was letting me stay at his place, shout out TJ, you are the fucking GOAT. He let me crash on his couch, which I was very appreciative of. But I arrived there the first day and like everything was like shutting down. And he was like, well, like, do you want to go get some like sushi and then like go to Beacon's Closet? Cause it's like the only thing that's open. And it was raining and stuff, and so I was like, do I really want to get, yeah, okay, we can go. And I was like, I'm not really down to shop right now though. I'm like, I want to go to some big stores, like I want to go to the Prada store and I want to go to Dover Street Market and stuff. I was like, I'm not really down to like shop. And he was like, that's cool, we can just like hang out here if you want. It's just like, that's literally the only thing that's open because it's like a Wednesday night. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go like poke around at some clothes, that's cool. And I was expecting this to be like a thrift store, and it was not that. And I got like, this shirt and one other that you're about to see that I actually just got back from a tailor today. But I love this shirt. So I think my theory on this is that this is like a Parsons student's project that, because there's no label in it, there's no tags, and it's like professionally made, but it's not, there's no labels on it. It doesn't look like there was ever a label on it. I think this is a sample piece that like a Parsons student made for a project and then was like graduating or something and was like, I'm not keeping that. And so they like tossed it. But I am so glad that they did. So, okay, a couple things about this thing. So, overall, this is a pretty standard shirt, right? Pretty normal, all things considered. Okay, so what's really cool, starting up here, is that the collar is very unusual. So it's built basically so that it can't ever truly be right. My theory is that this is supposed to be worn like this, not buttoned all the way up. It's supposed to be worn like this so that it can kind of always sort of look disheveled, permanently disheveled. So like we have like this is being pulled way too tightly here. And we have this, which is sick. To me, this is a very like Demna kind of styled thing where it's just sort of like, it's never going to look correct. It's never going to look like polished. And it looks like the kind of shirt that someone with maybe not a lot of taste would buy. Like this like kind of like waxy, like blue cotton is a very like 50-year-old middle management kind of decision, right? So, and we're not done, folks. We're not done. Coolest part about this thing, everybody who follows me on IG will have already seen this at least once, but so we got the helmet line details on the inside. We got the straps. So this can be worn. I definitely would not wear it with this red t-shirt under it normally, but this is what we got on today, so we're gonna deal with it. Like shirt like forces you to like struggle with it. So that, in my opinion, looks sick as hell. I love that. And this summer I'm actually going to be wearing this like a whole lot. But I love it just like that, where it just like gets to just sort of like sit on your back. But my personal theory is that the way that one wears this, me and TJ like took this back to his apartment and we were like trying it on like all these different ways and stuff. It was cool. But is that you're supposed to keep the straps on and then you put the shirt on, which is not an easy thing to do, by the way. I'm sure that they were docked points on their project for that. So you're supposed to put it on like so, and then we make it wear this collar, this fucking collar that will never be right, no matter how hard you try. It's never gonna be right. I'm gonna button it up so you guys can see the full effect. Normally I'm like skipping every other button or something, but I want you guys to be able to see everything here, because this is a very nuanced little detail. Okay, so when you have the straps on, it makes it so that it like bunches up in all these weird ways, right? So it makes it where like the shirt just looks very disheveled, extremely sloppy. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix the contrast, I'm sorry. So it's like, it cannot ever be perfect. So if you have the straps on, it like barely functions as a shirt because it is like trying to tear itself apart, which I love so fucking much. It's so cool. What if you unbutton the collar buttons? Let's look. I finished half my quarantine snacks. What if you unbutton the collar buttons? Let's see. How much did I get it for? This was like $7. I was like so shocked. Because I like looked at the cool like the strap detail and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like $110 and I'm not gonna be down to pay that for it. And then it was nothing because there's no brand. It's like not by anybody. But it's, I mean, for what it's doing, it's incredibly well made. So yeah, I mean, it's literally just a normal, it's a normal shirt, all things considered. What if you yeah, everything's pretty normal here. And I mean, it gives you the opportunity because these two top buttons are really close together. So it gives you the opportunity to be able to like fuck it up even more a little bit, do stuff like that. But I really like the constant like pull and tension that it has with it. It's really cool. I like that, where it just is like extremely fucked up. But yeah, I mean, my absolute favorite thing is that it's like, I mean, that's me totally relaxed. This is me trying to pull the shirt down, and shirt says no. Shirt says I will be fucked up no matter what. Oh, I just love that so much. It's so cool. I would have really, really loved to see, because I imagine that if like this was like a truly like a Parsons project or something, then they would have had to create like a statement about it and like do all the like backstory and sort of who is this for and like who is this inspired by, and I would really love to see all of the info about that. If anyone does, I mean, what is a YouTube channel and a like following of people for if you can't do this? If anybody happens to know, this is at the Beacon's Closet in Brooklyn, like right at like Bed-Stuy. I don't think it was in Bed-Stuy, but like the one that's right there, like near the bridge, one of those neighborhoods right near the bridge. If anybody happens to know where the fuck this came from, I would love, love to know who made this. Because I know, gosh, there's got to be like a dozen of you guys that live in Brooklyn and are at your homes in Brooklyn right now. We have like some pop seams and stuff, but for the most part, I mean, it's machine made by like somebody who knew what they were doing. Like, I mean, this is all legit stuff. Anyway, I love this thing so much. This thing makes me so excited. I love this. Whew. calm down, Bliss. Calm down. Okay, another one. This is another one that I've had, I mean, just as long as I can remember. So this is a Nautica. It's a Nautica flannel. Very warm, this flannel. It is very thick. Love this thing. I've had to modify this a lot because it's been falling apart. Right now, basically, it is like a flannel cut off. Got the sleeves cut off. Show off the guns, you know. You said this chair is sick. This chair is not sick. This chair is gross as fuck. This chair is functional for what I'm doing here, but it is not. This is not a sweet chair. I appreciate the compliment, though. I'm gonna kindly disagree with you. I wore through the elbows on this because I just wore it all the time. I wore through the elbows on it, so I cut the sleeves off. I removed the pockets because I thought that would be kind of a cool. Oh, not the whole pockets, just the flaps on the pockets because I always thought they kind of got in the way. So now it's just like open matching chest pockets. And then the collar on this, this is kind of an embarrassing story. If anybody's seen the cold wall video that I made, the video for a cold wall, oh, I really don't like vocals in my house music. Said the guy who clearly doesn't get house music. The foundations of house music are like wailing divas and stuff, but it's sort of disruptive if I'm trying to think. There we go. If anyone saw the video for a cold wall, I was trying to do something kind of weird. I do not sew, and I do not know anything on a practical level about clothing construction. I can follow along if someone is talking to me about clothing construction. I cannot create things at all. As anybody who can create clothes, you know it's a big old difference between knowing like, oh yeah, that's like a whip stitch, and like being able to execute a whip stitch in a useful way for like a shoulder or something. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to imitate this really cool Vetements plaid shirt that I saw that the guy, oh, dang it, I forgot his name. No, the guy that runs our streetwear that's really cool, and he's like 35 and he's like got an incredible wardrobe. He also runs Expensive Human Fashion. I forget his name. Somebody help me out in the chat. But he has this really cool shirt that like has this very like hunchbacked shoulder to it. And I was trying to add in something like that. So like basically what I did was I took the collar, right? And I flipped the collar into itself like this. And I was trying to add in a piece of plastic and then like wear it back here so that it would like kind of like hold itself like in a straight line back here. If I like wore it like slightly off my shoulder a little bit. And I was trying to give it like a purposeful shape to like wearing a shirt like this, right? Which, I mean, you know, this is a pretty cool way of wearing a shirt. So tried to add in this like piece of plastic. So I like created like a tube to put it in using the collar. That was this tube here. And it has popped open since, but like this was all just like an even like tube of fabric. And I put it in and I like sat down and did some test shots and like some mic tests and stuff for the video. And I was like, this looks horrible. This doesn't look good at all. And so I like slid that out and was like, I guess now I just have like this shirt with this really weird collar, but that's fine. I totally willing to accept the fact that I can attempt something and then totally fail at it, which is cool. It was pure white when you went to the rack. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I keep having struggles with this lighting. I apologize. All right, so we got Champ in the cut. What's up, Champ? We got some clothes by you coming up, Champ. Champ. I always feel so. I like that that's your name. I think it's a very cool name. I always feel like sort of condescending whenever I like say it out loud. And I'm like, hey there, Champ. Like I feel like I'm like your like stepdad who's like trying to like be cool with their 11-year-old son, being like, you want to go out in the yard and like maybe throw the ball around, Champ? Kissy face back, Champ. All right, so yeah, I think that's all the details about this. It was a failed experiment and still like kind of a staple of my wardrobe. Much like the other kind of Vivienne Westwood looking piece, this one is very much a layering piece now. Very rarely will I wear it by itself. So this is the other thing that I got from Beacon's Closet on that trip. I just got this back from the tailor. A lot to talk about on this one. I love this shirt. So got it tailored in. It was a little bit too big for me. And I want to ask y'all's opinion about this because I have the feeling that it is still a little bit too big for me. Not in the body, but in like the neck. So this is kind of meant now to be like my shirt that I can kind of wear under most things. I didn't like the buttons initially. Oh, so this is the question I want you all to consider. Is this too big in my neck? Like, I guess I'm not ever really gonna be wearing it like all the way up here, like buttoning it all the way up, but I might button it all the way up, and that's too big, right? Like, that's a lot of room right there. It's supposed to be like 2 fingers, right? And that's definitely more than 2 fingers. Does that not make it, I mean, also consider I have comparatively a rather small head. And you know what they say, the bigger the head, the bigger the star. I'm not a star. My father has a humongous head in proportion to his body, and his head looks incredible. Like he looks like he like belongs in movies. Like he's not like, I don't know, I guess I do have a pretty like handsome father, but like, I don't think he would describe himself as particularly handsome. I think he is pretty handsome, but like he does have like a very large head, which he is always like, oh man, I have such a big head. Wish I didn't have such a big head. And it was like, Dad, that's what the talent scouts are looking for. They're looking for those big heads. They're not looking for heads like mine, Dad. They're looking for heads like yours. And my dad will also put on a trashy New Jersey accent and be like, the bigger the head, the bigger the star, son. And I'm like, the bigger the head, the bigger the star, Dad. Anyway, this shirt is from Beacon's Closet. It's by Thing Thing, which is not a particularly notable brand. They do make some cool stuff. They did make this shirt and I love it. The original buttons were plastic and they were intended to look like wood. So it was plastic that was trying to fool you into thinking it was wood. I thought that was bullshit. So I showed Lindsay this shirt and she was like, wow, I love that shirt. I hate those buttons. And I was like, I'm already planning to cut them off. So what I did was I went into Lindsay's stash and she was kind enough to give me some of her animal bone buttons that we believe are from the 18th century, or 19th century, so 1800s. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I have to be really cautious and tell all of, I have some right here. They're a little bit easier to show. I have to be really cautious with them and like tell like dry cleaning places and stuff, like be like, these are delicate. Because as I'm sure some of you have learned, if you take like something that has mother of pearl buttons on it to a dry cleaner, one of the devices that they use is like it's like a huge iron. It's like a waffle maker kind of, where it's very, very large. They put the whole garment down, and if there's something that's like a particular problem, like a stain they're trying to get out or whatever, they will drop this huge piece of metal basically onto your shirt, which is never a problem with plastic buttons. Plastic buttons are tough as fuck. They can you can like slam them with not a hammer, but like you can be pretty rough with them and nothing's gonna happen. And so they're able to drop these things down and not like smash it, but like, drop it down and it's fine. And then like, they're like, cool, now let's get this stain out. Can't do that with mother of pearl buttons because they will all break. And so this is kind of in that same category where like 150-year-old buttons that are made of animal bone, probably pretty delicate. But I loved how these look, especially how they look with the fabric, especially with this red thread. Lindsay has like such nice thread up there. And again, she was very sweet for letting me use that because obviously her like archive of things, her big ol' archive up there is very impressive, and it is a beautiful resource and stuff, but it is like all archives that take a lot of time to build, it is not like a place where other people can just like kind of march in and be like, wow, can I have this? It's a super shitty thing to do, and if you have any friends that are archivists, they will definitely not appreciate that. But yeah, lots of little details that I like a lot. These are two totally separate pockets. They're very sturdy pockets. Got the frog pocket detailing there. I don't know, I like stuff like this, these little details. I really like the way they approach this shoulder, kind of a Western shirt sort of deal. And I thought there was something else about the shoulder that was kind of unusual. No, just a Western shoulder. That's cool. And it's a functional collar. It's a real collar. Sometimes on these shirts it's fake. We have like the back buttons and stuff. We have this little patch right here. Kind of adds a cool little detail. I like this a lot. I want to get it, I want to be able to show you, if I can, try to show you the fabric up close. Because, oh shoot. Dang, well that is, that's one thing that's not super great about attaching the buttons yourself when you are not super awesome at sewing, is that you can mess one up. And I'm pretty sure I messed that one up. Yep, I definitely messed it up. Look. It's like coming undone now. There we go. So this fabric is beautiful. It is, let's see if we can figure out what this is. I want to say mostly just cotton, right? All right, definitely no care tag. Yep, no care tag. Definitely feels like just regular cotton, but it has this little bit of texture to it. Can we see? You can see where my dry cleaner burned it a little bit right there. Just barely, that's okay, it's not a big deal. You can see just a little bit, it's just been starched too, so like, you can see that like these like kind of almost like veins, almost sort of the effect that like leather has when it's very thin, right? I just really like that texture a lot. To me, this is a really solid shirt that I can wear with a really unusual coat, really unusual stuff that can go with this and it not feel too overwhelming. It's kind of grounded by this sort of interesting take on an Oxford shirt. So, I love this a lot. Thank you, Fraser. I like your haircut too. What kind of bread you want on your panini, boss? I do not understand the panini thing. MMM button-up panini? I don't understand. Oh, panini press. Okay, got it. Yeah, about the little thing with the dry cleaner. Okay, cool. But yeah, thing. Made that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to my motherfucking Patreon. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. I don't think anyone has signed up this entire stream. Yep, nobody. Be a G, sign up for the Patreon. We got, how many people? 94 people in here. A lot of y'all I know truly are in the Patreon, and that is awesome. But we need more people in the Patreon. It's wonderful. The Discord, you will love it. You'll love the Discord. Do you want more fashion friends? Are there not enough people who get your niche interests where you live? Yeah, tell me about it. It's pretty rough. But if you join the Discord, then you instantly have like 130 other fashion friends. Still back? We're still back. Okay, cool. I had a call coming in and I obviously immediately deleted it. I'm so sorry. We had like a pause there. Join the motherfucking Discord. Discord.com, not Discord, Patreon.com/BlissFoster. Yeah, obviously if you are truly unemployed, then you get a pass. But it is $3 a month, which I have also been in a place before in life where $3 a month was like, you know what, until we get the job on lock, I need to not be spending money on anything. So I understand that. But also, it is literally like 3 $1 bills per month is the lowest tier. I, of course, am incredibly appreciative when people join the $9 tier, and the people who are at the $30 tier are like, they're like crucial to the channel's success. So if you want to be like a super boss, represent 10 of your fellows and be a $30 subscriber. We're gonna get back to the close. I currently have 0 on my bank card right now. Okay, then Almed, you get a pass. Everybody else though, go join the motherfucking Patreon. These are my PJs. These are my pajama pants. These have been worn so much. I have worn these just an infinite number of times. These are by Norse Projects, and I love them. Norse Projects just feel like the name and like the brand itself, like I feel warmer if I think about Norse Projects. Even Norse Projects t-shirts, I just feel warmer when I think about them. Norse Projects, cool Copenhagen stuff. I'm trying to figure out what this is made of. 41% lamb's wool, 31% cotton, 22% nylon, 6% polyester. That lamb's wool in there is wonderful. It's really easy, I feel like, to get pants that are like wool it's difficult to get pants that are wool that you can like lounge in, that you can like truly like lay down on the couch and just sort of like be like cuddled up with stuff and to not feel like this is uncomfortable on my skin. These are wonderful. I got them from Grailed. Norse project stuff, especially for stuff that I'm just gonna be chilling at the house in, and I've never worn these out one time. I would feel kind of uncomfortable like buying like nice PJs at retail for at least the part of life that I'm in now. I like these a lot. They have a super long like drawstring thing. I have to like kind of taper that off. They have the cool little thing in the back. The way that that's like laid out can remind us all of what it was like in 2014 when like, you know, like you would put that in the center of like a 5-panel cap and people would be like, wow, cool. Oh man, is that by what is it? Is that a Huff cap? So cool, bro. Is that raised by wolves? This is pilling like a motherfucker now. It's bad. Folks, it's bad. It's really bad. But I mean, I definitely wear this all the time. It's very thick, very cozy. Not a lot to say about them. Pilling does look dope if it's even and if it's big enough to look very full. I don't think pilling that occurs naturally has ever looked cool, in my opinion. In my personal opinion. Let's see. Here in Italy, yeah, uni and schools are closed. Yeah, Noel, everybody, shouts out to Noel. He's very cool. He's a YouTuber that everybody should check out. Yeah, Noel is in Italy. And yeah, Noel, at least in America, like you guys are kind of the talk of the town. Hey! Majin? Napi? I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, so I'm probably like destroying it. But like, thank you so much for signing up for the Patreon. You are a G. And you're gonna get started on the Discord and stuff. Hang out with us for the rest of the live stream. Hang out here for a little bit, but then yeah, go jump in the motherfucking Discord because it is a constant fucking party. It's very cool. Yeah, at least here in the United States, Italy is kind of the front of the news because we're sort of looking to Italy as, I guess, sort of for guidance on how to deal with this when it gets super duper bad. And yeah, obviously, Noel, you're in a place right now where you can't just like go on a stroll by yourself because it's dangerous outside. Yeah, oh, Luke, you're in the Bay? Okay, cool. Yeah, Luke's in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And yeah, they definitely have the strictest rules right now. New Jersey just put in a curfew for night. I love house music and club culture and stuff, but any clubs that are staying open right now, that is such a terrible idea. That does not seem like a responsible thing to be doing. I am all for like supporting local businesses and stuff, and clubs especially desperately need your support because that is such a difficult business to keep going. But like it just seems so irresponsible to like be throwing like house parties and stuff right now. All the big like giants of like New York techno and like house music and stuff like and around the world in yeah, they've all like closed down. But yeah, gyms are another thing. Yeah, work out at home, do some push-ups. Oh man, Noel, you just had the first victim in the city that you live in. I'm so sorry. You're in a pretty small town, right, Noel? We just had 2 deaths in my city too. I'm in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, and so it's this is a very small little community, and people are pretty freaked out because I think we had two deaths. Caesars in New Jersey. Yeah, it's kind of rough right now in New Jersey. Fraser said, y'all need what we got in Scotland, free uni education, free healthcare and prescriptions. Yeah, it's pretty sick. One of my pharmacists is from the UK. I forget where she's from. She's from the UK. And I was like picking up a prescription from her and she was like, cool, I just need your ID. And I gave it to her and she like looked at it and she like types in the info so that she can pick up, like she can figure out what bag is like actually mine. And she pulls it up and she was like, are you aware that this is gonna be $80? And I was like, yeah, it's always $80. And she was like, that is so much, gosh. And I was like, I asked her like jokingly, I was like, are you new here? And she was like, yeah, I just moved here from the UK. And I was like, oh, really? Oh yeah, things are handled very differently here. And she was like, I knew that before like I came over, but it's just, I mean, this would maybe cost you $8 in the United Kingdom. And I was like, yeah. I already feel pretty bad about it. If I could just go ahead and pay you for my medicine, please. And yeah, but yeah, that is nice. Ireland does have a much better situation on that. Or Scotland, sorry. I've never been to Ireland, but I have been to Scotland. That place is beautiful. I love it. Let's move on. Next thing. This is a pair of pants that I was sent by the homie, or I guess I was just given the homie discount on them. This is by, I think, Disco Noise. Disco Noise is the brand. This is a graphic that he created himself. Let's see if we can get this without the contrast freaking out. There we go. I really like this graphic a lot. Really like it. Very cool. Yeah, Noise. Champ knows what I'm talking about. I really like these a lot. These are the sleepy girlfriend pants. And I actually like them a lot. I might wear these out of the apartment and find a way to incorporate this into the fit. Oh yeah, okay, Champ, get a picture. I'm trying. Wait until the contrast is right. Wait. I think if my skin is more prominent in it. There we go. Okay, cool. If you didn't get the screenshot, too bad. We're moving on. Okay. So those are my PJ pants. Should we do the crazy thing that's been sitting here the entire time? Should we do this? This is one of my favorite articles of clothing that I've ever owned. Also, fun fact about this: these beautiful Sacai pants. These are by the good Dr. Abe. They are Sacai. I love them more than I love a lot of my organs. I love these shorts. They are beautiful. Fun fact about these is that I have an episode about these locked and loaded into the, it's literally on YouTube, but I haven't released it yet because I've been trying and I am determined to not actually release this until I can complete a part 2 for it. Part 1 is just me freaking out about the details of the shorts and how crazy they fucking are. And they're technically women's shorts. They fit wonderfully though. They fit very large, fit like a dream. Yeah, lots of little details. So the reason that the delay on this is so huge, this is part of why I like doing live streams, is because me making an announcement about this on Instagram or something really wouldn't make any sense, but we're just kind of shooting the shit here so we can talk about it. So technically this is not just Sacai. This is, as this label in here will tell you, this is Sacai, and it's also a brand called Rain Spooner. Does anyone know? Also, I love Sacai's tag. This is so clever here. That layout is so fun. They make it look so very official, even though they're a very artsy brand. So Rain Spooner is a, it looks like Bigfoot that was made into a rug. Yes, that's true. Rain Spooner is a brand about traditional Hawaiian iconography and prints that was founded and is run by a bunch of white people. I looked into Rain Spooner stuff, and for me and my way of approaching race relations in the United States and stuff, I am not comfortable at all with, I would never buy anything from Rain Spooner. I considered this to be a Sacai purchase. It was also purchased secondhand. That I think plays a part in the conversation there. But yeah, Rain Spooner is a Hawaiian shirt brand. Yes, Jay, that is a much simpler way of putting it. So a Hawaiian shirt brand. The designs that are used by Rain Spooner, and I think that's the reason that Sacai collabed with them on it, is because there's some kind of maybe some kind of proprietary ownership, legal ownership that Rain Spooner has over this. Gosh, my general vocabulary. All of this stuff here, I believe the reason that the collab exists is because this is owned by Rain Spooner. So Sacai wanted to use it. They made a lot of coats. They did a bunch of full body suits and stuff out of like this print and like fringe and stuff. I think they were really dead set on using this, but I think you had to buy it from Rain Spooner or something, buy the intellectual property or something. Anyway, that is a traditional Hawaiian thing, and it's owned now by like white people who use it to sell shirts to your granddad. So basically, what I wanted to do was create an initial episode where it's just like, I love these shorts. These are like my favorite shorts that I've ever owned. I love this. I would never give these up. I wear them during the summer, like, you know, as often as you can wear something that's that crazy. I love them so much. I love them. I love them. I love them. And then spend part two saying like, let's talk about clothing that has some racial or cultural complications to it, and kind of how do we feel about this? What do we do? Like, what do we think? And I think that sort of applies to a lot of stuff where like you'll see a lot of white people in America wearing Native American like holy iconography things, and the general like thought behind that is that it's just kind of like, well, this is like what is it, Goya? What's the Japanese brand that makes the like Native American stuff? Dang it, starts with a G. I know it starts with a G. Someone will post it. Yeah, to just kind of have that conversation. I've been trying to link up with, and it's mostly been me, it's not been her at all, but there's somebody who is part of it's a nonprofit that's a resource for Hawaiian Native peoples that have just been, I think it's just, I mean, like just, it's sort of like a social service, but it's a nonprofit for just like Native Hawaiian peoples. And there's a woman who's the head of communications for them, and I've been wanting to get her in an interview and kind of get her thoughts about like, how do you feel about this? And like, yeah, Visvim is another company that sort of, I mean, there's a lot of Japanese companies that borrow very, very heavily, and the thing that often gets thrown out is that it's like, oh, well, in Japan, like the idea of cultural appropriation isn't really something that they think about or that makes sense to them as a like cultural idea. And it's like, right, yeah, white, it doesn't make a lot of sense to white people too. That's how come we steal so many things. So like, I don't know if that's like really a good excuse, but I mostly like just want to get like the perspective of someone who is very involved with traditional Hawaiian culture, who is Hawaiian herself, and who is able to kind of not speak for everybody, but sort of give her perspective on like, okay, so Japanese brand made this and then you bought it as a white person secondhand, not giving any money to the original project, but still like kind of promoting the brand. Every time I wear them, I talk about like, yeah, they're Sacai, they're Sacai, they're Sacai. Just kind of getting perspective on like what that means, and sort of understanding that it's like sort of sending out the message of like, you can be self-examining about this stuff and sort of understand the implications of you wearing it and buying it or supporting it at retail and whatever. You can have that conversation and dialogue with yourself and with others without the answer being, it's fine, everyone should stop talking about it, or like, I have to burn this thing, it is evil. And not, you know, not necessarily like supporting like being passive about it, but starting a dialogue with like, where it's like, it's okay to, and it's very healthy to have this conversation about like, how does this impact people? Like, what's going on with this? So yeah. And then Fraser hit us with ethical consumerism does not exist under capitalism. That is definitely a stance with that. Yeah, Takahiro. But basically, a lot of Japanese designers have taken very liberal inspiration from a lot of different cultures. But I think there's a question in there that is worth asking of, you know, if a white company, a company that is owned and like run by like white, like people who are like European white, then like that, is there any difference between like that company using Native American stuff, which I think, I mean, that I personally think like is wrong. Like I do not like that at all. Like when just white companies are just kind of like, yeah, like feather headdress for our cool photo shoot kind of shit. Like that just seems like only insensitive and only just kind of shitty. What is up? Oh my gosh. Patreon from Ola Debbie? Maybe? I'm destroying these names today, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You are a G. Just stick with us for the rest of the live stream and then join that motherfucking Discord, that sweet, sweet Discord. Is there a difference between a white company using that pattern and then a Japanese company using that pattern? Because from a like colonialism perspective, like Native Americans obviously were completely decimated by colonialism. That was horrible, like cultural genocide level of stuff. But I mean, also if we are talking about like horrible cultural genocide, Japan is very much a victim of that also. So is there anything to be said about like colonized cultures borrowing inspiration from each other? And so I wanted to kind of talk to about like general feelings and propose like questions like that to this woman who is very much in that way of thinking anyway, because she helps to run an organization that is about Native Hawaiian culture and people. And then talk to this woman who runs a podcast about Native American cultural appropriation, who is brilliant. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head, but she is a wonderful woman, and she's very, very smart, and she's one of the best people that I have ever heard for explaining cultural appropriation ideas in a way that is honest and is fully not holding anything back, but also doesn't feel so threatening that it makes people who disagree with that idea like want to like totally like retreat and like just get angry at her. She's one of the best, one of the best people at articulating this stuff that I've ever heard. Yeah, Goros, thank you. Goros is the name of the Japanese brand that makes all the like jewelry and stuff that's Native American looking jewelry. That is, I don't know, I'm in a complicated place thinking about Goros. Isn't calling Japan a victim only completely overlooking the imperial history of late 19th century and early 20th century Japan? My only point, yeah, obviously there have been imperial parts of Japan's past. I guess I was more like saying like, if we're talking about this from the perspective of like Hawaiian people who definitely were colonized and definitely like just, I mean, culturally just got the shit punched out of them when people came over and were like, we're taking your island and we're not talking about it. We are forcefully taking over this island. And then, you know, in 50 years, we're going to turn it into a tourist destination and you just got to be cool with it. And just, we're shitty and awful. So like, I don't think there's any disagreement that Hawaiian people were culturally colonized. That's the nicest way to put it. Culturally colonized by the white people in the United States. So that culture being taken by a culture that has also experienced heavy doses of white colonialism, Japan. Is there anything that makes that a different conversation than just like a white person saying like, I want to just start making Indian stuff, like headdresses and like the cool beads and stuff? Like, is there any kind of different conversation that needs to be had because of that? And I would, you know, ideally like to be asking that to someone who has studied cultural appropriation for their entire life, and also someone who is actively working in a field where she's immersed in Hawaiian culture and is Hawaiian herself. So yeah, definitely there are elements of Japan's past that are imperial and probably not very flattering. I don't know much about it. You know, I've heard people refer to that before, but I'm just wondering if that changes the conversation at all. The Geo baskets or the Jordan 1 of avant-garde. That's a great point. Anyway, I do love these shorts a whole lot. I do love Sacai a whole lot. And I think that Sacai Nikes are, hey, Patreon, hoi vu. Thank you so much. You are a G. We have 3 new patrons. That's wonderful. We're like back on track here. The goal overall is 5. For these like bigger live streams, the goal is 5. So we got 2 left. But thank you so much, Huey. You should definitely chill for the rest of the live stream, and then we'll get you hooked up with the Discord. I think the Sacai Nikes are a bit overrated. There, I said it. Just tons and tons of people have them. They're a cool looking shoe. When people are like, oh, I love Sacai, and like the only thing they really know about Sacai is the shoes, that's kind of unfortunate because Sacai does absolutely wild stuff like this. So Yeah, Sakai is wonderful. I love Sakai. And I'm so excited that she's going to Jean-Paul Gaultier to do their first haute couture thing without Jean-Paul actually there, because he's fully retired, and now they're going to have a rotating door of designers coming in for a single season and doing just like a single runway show, which is so cool. Next, let's move on. This shirt is fucking bonkers. I love this shirt. I got it because it reminded me of Comme des Garçons Homme Plus. Very much reminded me of Homme Plus. I'm gonna let I think I've said before where it is from, but I'm gonna let everybody guess. Does anyone know who this? Because it's very enigmatic of this designer's style, but it is not a cool brand, this shirt. Not a cool brand. Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess where? Someone said, I can't wait for Philippe Plein, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Yeah, agreed. This is not Gosha. No, I mean not a cool brand, like it's never been a cool brand. No, not Covent. You guys are going, wait, not Vera Bradley. That's a closer guess. You're getting closer with Vera Bradley. Okay, so I love this so much. It's so busy. Like even the fucking cuffs are like discolored on that side and then regular on this side, and like it's got the floral print and this like black and white black thing, and the floral print is so busy. Tommy Bahamas is very close. You are getting very close with Tommy Bahama. That is the closest guess so far. It looks like a hallucination. That is accurate. But like, look at that. It's like this like digital glitch floral print. It's beautiful. I love it. Not Banana Republic, not Ralph Lauren. Not Lisa Frank. No. Keep going. You guys are so close. I mean, throw out like what are some dressing up dad brands? What are some brands that make like the kind of like overweight Papa Bear of the family go out to not necessarily a Macy's, but maybe a Nordstrom? Really some serious money. Not Izod. Another good guess. Not Izod. It might have been available at JCPenney at one time, but it's not JCPenney's like home brand. It's a pretty big name. It is the actual name of the designer. It's definitely not Under Armour. Get the fuck out of here, champ. Close. Varvatos is close. Think a little bit lower. Not quite Varvatos. No, it's not Top Man. Not Kenneth Cole. Okay, you guys ready? I'm gonna show you. What if we just sat here for like 30 minutes and I was like, nope, not that one either. This is by, oh man, I buttoned them all again. I wasn't even thinking. Why did I button them all? This is by Rick Owens. Yeah, Fraser, hit me up and I'll send you a playlist. This is not my playlist, but this is by Robert Graham. Not a cool brand. Not a cool brand, that Robert Graham. What was it? It's a Robert Graham exclusive. Whatever the fuck exclusive means. Robert Graham is the most, I mean, like go to the website when we finish with the stream. Robert Graham is like the most, in America at least, this is the most like 45-year-old dad, still wants to seem cool, has a substantial gut that he's not really doing a whole lot about, but like, you know, has a little bit of spending money and is like going to the mall and being like, I kind of want something that reminds everybody that I like to have a good time. And Robert Graham is the big old answer to that because his shirts are much larger than most of the other shirts in the cool fashion stores. You said music's getting intense? Okay. If the music is truly too much, somebody needs to let me know. I mean, we've already like fucked the whole live stream up because we've done an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, with the music the way that it was. But oh, you said music's getting intense in a good way. Yeah, I love Midland. Let's see. Then we'll put that back where it was. There we go. But yeah, that's what Robert Graham is. But this graphic was just so incredibly good. This contrast, this pattern matching, if it could be called that, pattern matching, I don't know. So good. I love it so much. I usually wear this open and with like a colored t-shirt under it. And this is one of the only times where like plastic buttons that I actually liked. Can we get that? It's like almost, it's like this like it's like semen colored with like red specks in it. So it's semen with some blood in it. Can you see it? It's the only like plastic buttons that I actually kind of like. Yeah, DMT shirt. It's a DMT shirt, y'all. All right, let's keep moving. Gotta keep moving. We have definitely moved way too slowly. I apologize. We're gonna move a little bit quicker. This is Yohji Yamamoto por I like this a lot. I do not have a lot of occasions to wear it because it's a little hard to make it work. But I like this a lot. Every other button, Bliss. We're not going every single button. Mother of pearl on the buttons. But yeah, just like regular cotton. It's a little bit oversized. I really like this stripe thing. It sort of like makes the whole thing work really well. This is definitely older. I don't know what year this is from, but this is, I mean, you can kind of tell that this is from a little bit of an older era. It's got the kind of classic shirting deal here with the like pinstripe and the color of the collar and stuff. I really like the shoulder detailing on this one. Kind of have like a little bit of a cuff on the shoulder. A little bit of something there on the shoulder. What's up, Heat, Gold Star, Boys 2, Pac, Skit 1, Fake Bank, Skit 2, Trip? What's up? Oh my gosh. Okay, my favorite statement about the Robert Graham shirt is that Robert Graham shirt is the last image that the human brain produces before it dies. That is a great point. I love that. Why do you button your shirts all the way up? I don't know. This was, I think I button all of my shirts up because I listened to a lot of emo music in high school, and I knew definitely that there were like a lot of bands that would get shirts that were too tight for them, and they would button them all the way up, and I remember thinking those guys looked really cool. I've never thought about that before, but I think that might be the most honest word vomit answer to that question of why do I button my shirts all the way up. I don't button all of them all the way up though, do I? I feel like I'm here, I feel like there's a lot of, man, I don't know now. I just feel like this right here, to me, this looks kind of purposeless. Like, this is just sort of like, oh, the best MCR album, that's a loaded question, because you're either going to say The Black Parade or you're going to say 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, and no matter which one you say, everyone can be like, fuck you, the other one that you didn't say is better. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge is a much better pop album. They produce some of the catchiest, best like power pop infused songs ever on that album. The like highlights of the genre of emo music are on 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Yeah, like all of them. Basically every single song on that album is incredible. Black Parade is like a concept album that like changed culture, I think, in a lot of ways. It's showing now to be something where it's like, no, this was like one of the most important emo albums that came out, period. I would say probably of that era of emo music, the most, or really of all of emo music, because like emo has kind of lived, I realize that emo music is still around, but it's kind of lived its life in the mainstream now. And it's sort of like that time has come to a close. And I think the two most important emo albums, period, are The Black Parade and The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me by Brand New. I think so. That's it. Hawthorne Heights. That was not a cool band when I was in high school. I am not a fan of Hawthorne Heights. I understand that it is probably a very different... Talking about Hawthorne Heights now is probably very different than talking about Hawthorne Heights when I was 17. When I was 17, anybody who liked Hawthorne Heights got beat up. Didn't actually get beat up, just everyone would be like, okay, so that guy is not serious about crying music. Okay, for this one, we actually are going to go full on in the shirt. Oh shit! My sleeve got caught on my hospital bracelet. There we go. This is a shirt by a little brand called Hybrid. Champ. Talking about you, bud. And white shirts, for the record, and really most button-up shirts, look way better when they are, man, this mix has definitely come to an end and we're now in some different mix. Not great. Most button-up shirts look substantially better if you are not wearing anything on under them. I thought Shirtless Bliss was an OnlyFans exclusive. Not today, folks. Okay, hang on. Let's switch this mix up real quick. Let's get something else that's gonna actually be good. That might be a little too high energy? Probably not. We'll probably be fine. Yeah, we'll be all right with this. This is Ryan Elliott at the Sonus Festival in Croatia from 2018. It's a while ago. All right, so Blammo. Very, I love this thing. My current plan with this is to not ever really wear it like this. So obviously this is like totally open right here, which is a very cool little detail. And I especially like that the strings are left hanging open. That to me, somehow this as a detail, like the fact that there's like all these like loose string things that are clearly pre-planned, because if you look really closely at it, you can see that that was machine done, right? Right there, you can see like up here, that was machine done. So these are, it's a distressing detail, but the distressing detail somehow makes it look more purposeful. Usually like if things have like fringe and whatever, it makes them look like, oh, it's supposed to look less sloppy, maybe less sloppy on purpose or whatever. This somehow makes it where this specific, very unusual detail here looks more purposeful. Somehow if it was like cut out and it was like totally clean and stuff, that would make it look too, it would look too much like something that you added yourself. But somehow with this being added on there, it, to me at least, gives the impression that it's like it came out of the box like that. It came out of the box like that, it did. But yeah, otherwise it's just like a good, like lightweight, summer weight Oxford cloth shirt. I like it so much. Is Champ? Oh yeah, Champ is still here. That shirt specifically inspired by Battle Royale, with the inspiration coming from when the kids are stranded on the island fighting for their lives. If anyone was curious, we are curious, Champ Champagne. We are very curious. Please always feel free to jump in with the little details like that. Love it. Okay, so this and then, oh wow, we're getting into a really old shirt next. I'm gonna put my shirt back on. And with this mix, you guys are getting much more of a taste of like what I normally listen to if like nobody else is here. This is much more like cocaine type beat techno music, just kind of like relentless wall of sound. So this is a shirt by the Australian brand I Love Ugly. The brand itself is called I Love Ugly. I bought this shirt forever ago. This was, honestly, I think this was my first, for those who watched the Bliss Foster interview episode, I think this was my first like clothing pickup that was on purpose after I started getting into designer clothes. Was like this and a long sleeve version of this, which I for some reason cannot find. I don't know where it is. This and then a long sleeve version of it and a cardigan by the same brand. But basically they just did very, it was like a very like streetwear take on the prep look. The buttons are all made of wood, actual like real life wood. Of course the contrast is fucking me up. There we go. Wood buttons that have like just damn near deteriorated at this point, which is great. I really like the distressing that comes with that. And I really, really like this little like fisherman's loop right there, because I've used it to hold a pencil or a pen so many times in my life. That has been a very useful detail. I wish all of my shirts had this seam, and I really wish they had that little detail right there. It's incredibly helpful. And I also really love that it doesn't have a pocket. It's just very, very clean. I've worn this shirt countless times. Basically, like I purchased the Thing, the gray button-up shirt. I essentially purchased that to replace this, because I have now worn this so many times that it is starting to fall apart. If I like re-listen to this stream later and I find out that this is like, the music is like overwhelmingly loud and that you like can't hear anything, I'm gonna be very pissed at you guys. But yeah, I Love Ugly. I don't think they're around anymore. They might have gotten bought by another company. Maybe they're back, I don't know. I haven't checked in on them in a long time. They made a lot of like drop crotch jogger pants was what they kind of specialized in, and I never got a pair of those. But I really liked the general like point of view of their brand. I thought that was very refreshing. I still think it's very refreshing, and they're like the first brand I ever got into. They're still around. So Alamad said their I Love Ugly is still around. Are they still around with the like original like owners and stuff? Because I remember there was like an email that I got or something, some correspondence, it seems like, where they were like, we are having to like fold down and stuff. And maybe they just got like, you know, maybe a relative died and they got a bunch of money or something. But like, it seems like they were saying we're folding. And then, yeah, I started seeing stuff from them again. And I was like, I wonder if this got bought by just a big brand. Not a big fan of them, but sometimes they drop some cool stuff besides the zipper pants. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a look that even now is very, I mean, like the full on, like very involved I Love Ugly pieces are things where it's like now that doesn't look cool because it just looks like somebody who bought their clothes like 5 or 6 years ago and is still wearing them. Which is cool in most cases, but it looked like somebody was buying trend pieces 5 or 6 years ago and is still wearing them. That's what it looks like. But I really liked that trend, sort of the like kind of streetwear badass like skater like DJ, but I'm a DJ, but like, and I skate, but I'm like getting a biology degree kind of like look where it's like prep, but very like cool prep. Anyway, next, moving on. Everybody saw this on the last stream. This is my Zegna button up. It is absolutely huge. I mean, like literally this is what I was wearing for the entirety of the last stream. Yeah, this thing it's gargantuan, it's huge. This was another birthday present from Lindsay. She got me four items in total. Robert Geller, that Yves Saint Laurent, this guy, and then one other thing. Dang, I'm terrible about that. There was definitely one other item that she got me. Anyway, this thing is huge. Fabric's really lightweight. Usually what I do with this, oh, and they're like super long. Look at how long that is. That is me fully extending my hand. That's crazy. I've never even seen an article of clothing that is that long. Even if I sized up 1 billion times, never that long. So long, I love it. So usually what I do with this is I will, instead of just like buttoning it up like regular, I will take this like top button here and I will move it back behind my head, and I will button it there, and then I will start to, there we go. And then I will begin to button this like these. And that way we sort of have a little bit of like an interesting like hang to it a little bit, right? Sort of has a little bit more dimensionality to it. And it certainly looks crazy on the back of my head. I need to like pin that down or something when I wear it like that so it doesn't look like a weird like hood for a small ferret or something. But anyway, I love this thing so much. Lindsay apparently like opened up the listing for this one and was just kind of like, wait, how big is it? Sold. And I've loved it so much. I'm like, I don't wear it super often because I really want the material to stay relatively nice. It is definitely a summer fabric, so it's extremely lightweight. And it's a rayon, so it's easy to stain, easy to get like body oil stains onto and stuff. It's not an easy one to keep nice. This is another big favorite. Basically all my button-ups I love too much. This is another part of my Helmut Lang uniform. This one needs to be dry cleaned really badly. There's really no point in like buttoning it all the way down. It's just straight on the bottom. It's meant to be untucked. A little bit short on the cuffs there. You can see it like the cuff is only like that, and it's Mandarin collar. And the two buttons are pretty close to each other on the top, which I really like a lot. Really like the pocket there. Oh, hey, Champ Champagne. There he is again. This is how I've been wearing this, actually. It's a tie bar technically, but I've been wearing it. I had to go to like a formal thing for work recently, and I wore this like this, which I really liked a lot. And I also like kept a pin over here. I always carry pins around. But yeah, that's what helmet line. I like it a lot. This is a Hawaiian style shirt that I got on eBay. This is old brand, but the print on it is so wild. Like, look at that. I can barely even tell what's going on. Stuff is on fire, or seems to be on fire, or maybe the sun is just setting. Yeah, if stuff is on fire, this guy's acting way too calm. But yeah, I really like this print a lot. Like old flimsy rayon shirts. Oh my gosh, you're right, Luke. Luke said when Bliss is glowing, he looks like the bald dude from Dark Souls, the one who kicks you. I do indeed, yeah. Gosh, I love that game so much. I was thinking about buying a PS3 today so that I can play Demon's Souls, which I've never gotten to play before. I want to play Demon's Souls really bad, but I need to not because I need to be working on Season 6 stuff. Anyway, yeah, this is an old Benetton shirt. It was made in Italy, and it's 100% rayon. There's a lot of very cool stuff that looks nothing like what you can find in stores that is on eBay. If you just search for like made in Italy, viscose, like shirt. Maybe Hawaiian shirt, maybe like print shirt, colorful shirt. You have to search around a little bit. But yeah, I love this. It was like $5. Raf Simons, usually what I'm dressed in. This is my Raf shirt. It's Raf Simons, and it's mine. So this shirt, I'm gonna have to be like glowy for a second. Man, I really do look like that guy from Dark Souls. So, kind of a Western shirt style with the way that we're doing this, right? One of the mother of pearl buttons is crushed. I bought it like that. They were very upfront about it, but yeah, this little guy is crushed, unfortunately. It's mostly just like regular like poplin. For the most part, it's pretty standard on most fronts. The thing that of course makes it unusual is that this part buttons up right here, this part buttons up, and this part buttons up. And I like to get a little bit wacky and do some like wild shit like buttoning, like, oh, can't do that, but let's see. I like to get a little bit crazy and do some wild shit like that. And just kind of like leaving it like that. I love that. And there's like 60 million ways of doing it. When I first bought this, I like spent like an hour and a half in my closet trying to like figure out how to make this like actually like work. I don't remember specifically what the configuration was, but it was something along those lines. But this is what year is this? Raf Simons is a G and lets us know what year everything is from. This is from autumn winter 2002. It's a size 50. It's pretty big, but I love this thing. I wear it only occasionally because it is a pretty unique one, and I would be really bummed if I like tore it up. So I wear it just occasionally. This is one that I honestly need to throw away. This is a white seersucker. It's seersucker. White seersucker shirt from Helmut Lang. It was also part of my uniform. I have worn it to pieces. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. I need to get rid of it. 100% pure uncut rock. Yeah. All white shirts are kind of difficult to work with. Yeah, not really sure what to do. Basically, what I should have done, there's like just a lot of sweat and just human things in this. Basically, if I am going to wear these like all white shirts, and I'm going to wear them without a piss color, piss Foster shirt number 1. I'm gonna wear them like this. I need to actually be like taking them to get dry cleaned every time, because otherwise shit like this happens. But yeah, helmet line. There were some cool little deconstructive things about this that I liked, like the fact that there's like a pocket here. Yeah, more sweat stains, baby. Like there's a pocket here. You're looking at the outside of the shirt right here, but there's no, like you can't get into the pocket. The pocket is like perfectly visible from the front, but it's only accessible from the back of the shirt, which is a very fun little construction detail. I love that. And then also we have the cuffs here that are like this, right? No buttons, no nothing, no buttons. And it looks like it's folded up on itself, but there's no, it's like sewn in like that. There's like no way to get it out. It is a terminal cuff shirt. I just made that phrase completely up just now. Anyway, I need to throw it out. I don't know, like I kind of want to like tie-dye it or something. Like I love it so much. I've never thrown away a helmet piece. That would be stupid. Maybe I should just literally, I don't know. If anyone knows of a way to dependably tie-dye something that's not just going to be like, wow, I sure have a lot to learn about tie-dyeing, send me a link. The material is, I think it's just cotton seersucker. Let me look. Someone said, what's the material? 78% cotton, 22% polyamide, which just is polyester. See, reverse side for care. Everything from Helmut Lang ever just says dry clean. Check out all of the sweet instructions for dry cleaning on the back. It just says dry clean. All right. Hey, you guys might recognize this little beauty here. This is a piece by a brand called Hood by Air that is like 18 pieces of clothing shoved into a single piece of clothing. Here, it is a pretty like heavyweight, like zipper detail t-shirt. Has anybody seen the episode around this one? It's pretty sick stuff. People are sending me tie-dye instructions. I cannot read those and actually go Google them now. Please send them to me on Instagram. I would be happy to take your recommendation because that thing is just garbage and it's just sitting in my closet. Hood by Air. Hood by fucking Air. Shane, come back and see us. We miss you so much. So basically this is a t-shirt on the top, right? Pretty standard t-shirt stuff. And then down here we have a pair of pants because we can see these belt loops and we can see the belt there. Pants. And then, of course, if we open this guy up, oh man, what's inside? What's inside? The suspense is killing me. If we open it up, we also have a suit jacket inside as well. The motherfucking GOAT, Hood by Air, Shane Oliver, baby. And then also, I was told, like, that's what I covered at least in the episode about this thing. And then somebody hit me up and was like, you know, you can completely disattach like this part that zips here. You can completely detach that and then just wear it like a skirt. And I was like, holy shit, that's true. How did I spend like so much time researching and just like thinking about and like trying this thing on? I didn't realize that you could just wear that as a skirt also. Pretty slick. And also, I mean, probably as a tube top if you've got like a thick enough barrel chest. Oh yeah, the zipper doesn't touch bare skin. Does the zipper not feel real bad against bare skin? Yeah, I wouldn't wear this one against bare skin. I don't like having zippers against my skin, but if it's something like, you know, like a button up or something, that's all I meant by that, was just like button ups and stuff. I prefer wearing them without an undershirt. This is another one. Oh my gosh. I love this thing so much. Let's try to get this contrast right. There we go. Love this thing so much. But then I fucked it up. And I'm so mad. Spirited Away is obviously the greatest anime movie of all time. I don't think really there's even a way to dispute that. If there is a better anime movie than Spirited Away, I dare you to tell me what it is because you are wrong. I don't think it's a jacquard knit. It's just, I mean, it's not printed on there. It's just part of the thing. I can't bring myself to just throw this away because it's so cool. I got it for so cheap. It's really not like a big deal as far as expenditure is concerned, but it's like, it's woven into the thing. Bliss, you're talking to a weeb right now. Yeah, you are watching the biggest, the king of weebs. And and my specialty of weebdom, my domain of weebdom is feature-length anime films. I dare you, anyone. Howl's Floating Castle? Not true. Not as good as Spirited Away. Next suggestion. Ghost in the Shell 1995 and Ghost in the Shell Innocence. I haven't seen those. Next suggestion. Damn, this is not going super well so far. Howl's Moving Castle is like, that is brilliant. Is very good. And there's obviously lots of debate within the Miyazaki obsessed world about which of his movies are actually the best. Usually that comes down to Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, or Princess Mononoke. I think Spirited Away. And my dad sealed the deal for me recently. He was like, no, here's how I'm thinking about this as far as ranking them. He was like, if you chop all three of those movies into 2-minute segments, you are getting more incredible, eye-popping, crazy, creative, unbelievable things. You are getting more creative perfection in 2-minute segments in Spirited Away than anything else. And I was like, that actually is a pretty good way of thinking about this. Yeah, that I will get behind that. So, if you guys want to fight Mike Foster on that, be my guest. But Spirited Away, the best. Yeah, I love this so much. When I had the Akira Supreme collab jacket, the Otomo collab jacket, Akira is also wonderful. And Akira is another one where if you chop it up into 2-minute segments, you're getting a lot of bang for your minute-by-minute buck. I would wear this underneath my Akira Supreme jacket and it looked fucking sick. That's what I wore to Fashion Week. And I got to be in the background of some pretty cool street style shots. It was sick. Where they were clearly taking pictures of somebody else. But I was there, and I was wearing a pretty cool outfit, and I was like, what's up, guys? This was given to me. This is a Burberry trench from the 80s. This is very old Burberry trench. These are not like, I wouldn't say these are like crazy expensive or anything, but it's still in like really, really nice shape. Very, very nice shape. It is a, well, this was given to me by my mother, because it's technically my grandmother's. My granddad was not a big fashion guy, and neither was she. They were both kind of in this like realm of, because he was a very influential surgeon, my grandfather, when he was still alive. He was an influential surgeon of assholes. Like that was his literal specialty, was the thing that like is the camera that you like can put up someone's ass and like scope out what's going on in their colon. Like literally, like it's like a camera on like a firm cord. He was on the team that made it where that was possible. He was on like the test team that made it where like that could actually like come out and be used and stuff. But yeah, he was very well off. My parents are not well off, but like my grandfather was extremely well off while he was alive. And he was not a big fan of like, oh, let's go out all the time and like go shopping for all this like dope shit or whatever. He was just big time on like, let's go out and I want to know, like, my wife needs a raincoat. What is the best raincoat available? And the person at the store would be like, oh, Burberry, just get her a Burberry trench. And he was like, cool, we will have a really wild one, which is the red one, and we will have a plain one, which is the khaki one. Done buying raincoats, done forever. And he would just buy like the best version of something and maybe like get an extra color of it or something, and then just consider himself done with it. When he would go to the store to buy like household things, he would come home with like 45 sticks of Old Spice deodorant. And then he would like keep the rest in the garage, and he'd be like, I don't have to think about deodorant for 20 years now. So he was very much a solutions-oriented clothing shopper. And he did that for a lot of his personal clothes as well. He had like a few different suits. They were very nice suits. They were tailored perfectly, and he would just wear them all the time, and then he didn't have to think about suits anymore. But anyway, I have this. It is slightly too small for me. I've considered doing some stuff to it, like taking it to a tailor and finding a way to get the sleeves chopped off so I can sort of wear it sort of like a vest, like the way that this thing is now. I'm also kind of like, ugh, do I really want to do that to like an OG Burberry trench? This is like really nice. And it is very thick, and like the cotton that's used for it is like this very waxy, wonderful, heavyweight thing. So I'm still figuring out what to do with it. It is too small for me in the sleeves. The sleeves look ridiculous on me. If I put them on, like the sleeve is like up to like right here. Like it's silly looking. Yeah, I checked. Okay, so someone recommended Serial Experiments Lane. I've checked out Serial Experiments Lane. I got like 2.5 episodes into it and gave up on it. I am so focused on the quality of animation with anime that most shows do not meet my standard of what I need in the animation, which is why I collect feature-length films of anime. Because if the animation team's whole budget is like, you guys only have to worry about 90 minutes, then they can just go buck wild on the quality of the animation. There's a few shows that I like that are shorter, like FLCL. I don't like silliness in anime at all. I kind of prefer all anime be sort of serious. I don't like screaming and like jokes and like comic relief stuff in anime. But FLCL, I cannot deny the animation is fucking incredible, and like the concept design and everything is beautiful. It's like FLCL, the show Mononoke, not the movie Princess Mononoke, just the show Mononoke is pretty wild. What other shows have I done? Mushishi is like the best anime show of all time, in my opinion. I love Mushishi. So there's a few that I can get with. Most shows, I'm just kind of like, I can't go with this animation because like my standard is stuff like Penguin Highway and like Spirited Away, and no, Death Note is another one where I'm just kind of like, this is not, I'm just not here for this animation. I started watching the show Beastars, like the word beast and the word stars put together, on Netflix, and I did not realize that show was going to be about animals filleting each other, but it is a little bit about animals giving each other blowjobs. That's okay, because they're like kind of animals, but also they're supposed to be like high schoolers, like just hanging out and being normal high schoolers, and sometimes, I guess, high schoolers do that. I didn't, but I acknowledge that there are some high schoolers that will get involved in some filleting. Someone like logs in like right now and is like, what the fuck is this? Ergo Proxy, I've not seen that. Send me anime suggestions on Instagram. If you truly have something that is like beautiful. Sorry, we had another call jumping in. If you have something that's beautiful animation and that is like, has like sort of a generally calming feel to it, I would love some anime suggestions, sure. How was that at all tied into this? Anyway, Burberry Trench. Yeah, the Berserk films, I've only seen the new ones that Netflix like remade. I'm told that I should rewatch like the original ones because apparently that's pretty good. Doing a geography assignment, Fraser said. Angel's Egg I need to see. That's one that's on my list. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see Angel's Egg. This is the other Burberry Trench. It is also too small for me because it was made for my granny. Burberry Trench. This is more stuff from the guy that gave me all those jeans. This is I think it's Air Force. This is just a standard like coverall kind of shit. It has like these things here where we can put little patches. Like all things made in the Army, it is clearly made to be reproduced thousands and thousands of times. The quality on it is not great. It is pilling like crazy. I don't know, military surplus has a lot of incredible design stuff, but just these fabrics sometimes are just so low quality that occasionally it's just kind of like, ugh, I don't know. Anyway, this thing is cool to wear occasionally. He also gave me this absolutely wild thing, which really I just need to like formally give to Lindsay because this is absolutely wild. And Lindsay wore this one time to a costume party and she looked cool as hell in it. And yeah. So this is pretty cool. It's got all the little NASA stuff up there for all your high school aged nieces and nephews who are just kind of like, I went to PacSun and I bought this shirt that says NASA. I look like a rapper. They too can look like a rapper wearing this badass NASA jumpsuit. All right. I am going to hold it and not go pee right now. I'm gonna drink more La Croix, and I'm going to do shoes. We're going to do shoes before we close this out. And then we're gonna shoot the shit for a little bit, and then we are going to, yeah, that is actually very true, Alamed. Wrapping the top part of the jumpsuit around your waist is a very powerful move. No piss, Foster. Have I ever done a live stream without having to piss in the middle of it? Because I feel like, who said Rubicon is better than La Croix? That is extremely not true. I've never even had this Rubicon thing that you're talking about, and it's not as good as La Croix. False information. So, where are we starting with all of this? We'll end on the shoes that I just bought this week. But, so I have a big love affair with Clark's Trigenics. I think I already showed you guys this one, right? So like, Clark's Trigenics, I love Clark's. I really like the Trigenics line. I'm pretty picky with which ones I pick up, but the green suedes have been like, this is my first pair of them. I love these so much. I love the silhouette. Look at that. Very, very pretty silhouette. Very pretty silhouette. It is just like a traditional unstructured moccasin. Like this part up here, there's like nothing keeping this together. It is just very dusty. And also, yeah, just totally unstructured moccasin. These are my laces that I added on. They're Lindsay's really, from college. Lindsay wore these a lot when we first started dating, and then she took them off of the shoes that they were on, and I like washed them and was like, can I have these? She said yes. I really like this little like kind of flick that the silhouette does back here with the pull tab. This little arch here to me is really, really beautiful. Kind of an elfin shoe. What? Rubicon Army? Imagine drink TV stat. What? Okay, you guys are talking about this drink. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so these are great. This is my second pair of them. The first ones I wore so much that I had to throw them away. So yeah, that's the original Trigenic. I also have, I feel like I've shown you guys these specific ones. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. This is another version of the Trigenic that was done in collaboration with Concepts Japan. I didn't realize the side of it was that dirty. That's kind of gross. The pink suede on these is like a specialty suede that they picked up just for this. It's beautiful. I love this suede, and I especially really like the back. Look at that. It's so pretty. This suede is beautiful. It gets filthy so easily. I have maybe worn these shoes 5 times, and this is what they look like. This suede gets very dirty very quickly. Just gets like dusty, you know? Like, I wasn't doing anything to them, but like they're already like really grimy looking. Not very pleasing to the eye. But yeah, Concepts Japan is sick, obviously. Everybody knows that. Concepts Japan, the best, the GOAT. So that was the standard one. This is like a cool like little collab thing. This is the super collab one. So they're still Trigenics. This is a collaboration with Christopher Rayburn. If you are an OG viewer, you have definitely seen these before. Okay, you guys are still talking about sparkling water. I'm gonna let you continue. Collaboration with Christopher Rayburn. This was the single best thing that ever happened in that collaboration, in my opinion. This is based on Chinese terracotta warrior armor. So you got like all the craziness right there. And in all the images, like on the website and stuff, it had the tongue like up like this, like so the shoe is supposed to be like this. And I was like, fuck that. I want this like tongue to be like down like this, because I thought that looked cool as hell. So I wear them like this. These are all, if you've seen the video, I actually was like, are these bungee cords like all functional? And this is actually like, goop, goop, goop. This is like an actual bungee cord. It's like springy like a bungee cord. We got the little metal eyelets on it. Pretty sick. But these are like actually like kind of like heavy cords. I love it. But this obviously can all be taken out right here. But then also these can all be taken out. There are 3 bungee cords per shoe that he includes in this. 5 of them on the sole, as always, and yeah, just a lot of crazy shit here. Because like all this like crazy shit on the side here, this can all like be like reconfigured depending on how you like lace up these extra bungee cords, and you have like a little like sock on the inside for your foot. So that's actually what you're putting your foot into, is this little like crazy like sock doodad here. This chair's like trying to fall over. This chair is trying to kill me. So like in here, that's the sock. So however you configure this stuff, you're at least warm and cozy in this synthetic sock. Christopher Rayburn. This is literally my favorite shoe of all time. Right here. I own my favorite shoe of all time. Here it is, me and my favorite shoe. If anybody's friends with Christopher Rayburn, you can like take a picture of that and send it to him. Anyway, so that, and then I switch back and forth, but I think that one truly is like my favorite shoe ever. It's a close one. This is the Trigenic shoe that was part of their little experiment to make them in Italy. This was incredible. When I worked at Clark's, I was curious about it because I was like, okay, so we get one, at the time, the way it worked was every employee gets one free pair of shoes per year. And it's like anything, whether it's retail, whether it's on sale, whether it's like an old like dead stock one that was like only available at the outlet stores, whatever it is. Pretty much like if we're carrying it in the stores, you can have it. So like the Supreme collaborations and like the Drake collaboration and stuff, like some stuff like was the contract for the collaboration specify that it's like you may not carry this in any of your stores. It can only be available through Supreme or what have you. So we couldn't get those. We couldn't get like the Woo Wallabies, but like pretty much anything else they were like down to give us. They're very, very liberal about that policy, as liberal as they could be. And this is what I wanted. I was like, hey, so we just came out with these vegetable tan leather joints, like versions of this and the Wallabies and the Desert Boots and the Bank Robbers. I really want the Trigenic joints very, very badly. I'm a 10.5. Can I have that as part of my employee thing? And my boss was like, I don't know. We can submit a request and then we'll see if they send it to you. And we sent in the request and they sent them to me. And I checked the worldwide stock counter that we had, and there were 5. There were 5 of these made, and they sent me one as my employee shoe. There were 5 10.5s in the world, and I got one. And then a day and a half later, this thing right here ripped off of the bottom of the shoe, and I was like, fuck. And I like took it back into the store, and I like looked at my boss, and I was like, I promise I am not trying to be difficult. The sole has completely become disattached. If I was a customer, I feel like they would replace it. Can we get this replaced even though it was my free employee shoe? And she was like, we can see, we'll submit a request and we'll see if they send it. She had a very nonchalant thought about all of that. So we sent it in with like evidence, and we like damaged it out and did all like the regular stuff or whatever. And then they sent me another one. So I own 40%. I own 40% of the worldwide stock of the 10.5 band Clark's Trigenic. It's incredible. And also they retail for $400. So it's pretty sick. I was very happy to get it. And also I just fucking love how these look. I mean, look at this shit. I love this so much. What's up, Riley? That, and then what else we got? All right, let's move away from Clark's for a second. These bad boys I love so much. I love these shoes. I did an episode about these shoes, of course. These were like my favorite shoes of 2018, my favorite sneaker collab of 2018. Love them so much. It's Callie Thornhill DeWitt who made the graphics for Kanye's Life of Pablo cover. That's his part of it here, is like the lettering. And then it's Callie Thornhill DeWitt, Neighborhood, and Adidas. Neighborhood obviously was responsible for the design of the shoe. This is the, oh fuck. What shoe is this, Bliss? Don't embarrass yourself. Commandas. They're Commandas. So this is obviously the Commanda, and I love the Commandas. I don't like normally how they look, where the lacing, so these are laced more like soccer boots, where like the lacing is going down like one of the sides, so that when you're striking the football, you have a little more, the thrust of the football can be, no. That's a joke from the original episode that I did about these shoes. I don't know anything about soccer. But laces to the side like soccer boots, and I like that look a lot better on these than the laces that just go straight down the front. To me, that looks like someone photoshopped a shoe together. Like they took laces from a totally different shoe, and they took a sole of a totally different shoe and an upper of a totally different shoe, and they just like click, 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 and like pasted them together. I don't really like it. But the fact that they, one, made them green, I like things in green a whole lot. But also the fact that they made it where it was suede and kind of added a little bit of busyness by riding Neighborhood right there, and then also moved this over. They crushed it, guys. They made a really, really unique sneaker. I love these so much. I will continue to wear these until they are extremely beaten up, because I don't think they're gonna look bad when they're beaten up. They're just gonna continue to look badass. I love these so much. I'm so glad I got these. And also, these fucking cheap. They're like $65. Like, then it was like right after they came out too. Like, nobody wanted these for some reason. I have no idea why. They retailed for like $250. Okay. Wallabies. I love Wallabies. I only have 2 pairs of Wallabies, but I love Wallabies. So these are my black suede jaunts, and the contrast here is getting fucked up. There it is. Yeah, I've clearly worn these a good bit. Wallabies get fucked up almost immediately, which is why you gotta go get more. But yeah, black boots, I mean, pretty standard stuff. Not a whole lot to say about them. I like Wallabies a lot. These are also part of the Clarks Originals line. This is a shoe referred to as the Desert London. So it's a low top dress shoe version of the desert boots. This is in a green leather, green tumbled leather. The reason I got these is because like at the Clarks store, they were so cheap. They were on like super duper clearance, because they said, and we were instructed to tell everybody who was going to buy them, that the dye did not take to the leather correctly on these, and that it cracks super duper easy. So like I was always able to pick these up and be like, this is just the floor model, this is one that people are trying on and stuff all day, and you can see that it's already cracking a whole lot up here. And almost everybody that I showed that to that bought one was just kind of like, I think that looks way cooler, to be honest. I can't believe these are $15. And with my employee discount, I got these for like $7. It was insane. But to me, it reminded me of the Margiela Converse things that had like the cracking stuff on the side, and that like were like kind of, you like wear them and they like slowly like slough the paint off and stuff. I thought it looked a lot like that. Plus like green like dress shoes, like that's sick. Green leather dress shoes, that's awesome. And like gum soles, I'm just such a sucker for gum soles. They're so wonderful. I love gum soles. So those. Beautiful shoes, I love them. Oh, and also these laces are so chunky. Like, look at these laces, I love them. I would also steal, not stealing, I would just like find extra Originals tags on the floor, and you know, I could have, I guess, collected them all in the back or something, and then eventually like found the shoes that they were supposed to match with or whatever. Didn't do that. Most of the time just took them home, and I would add extras to my shoes. These like little like Originals tags. But yeah, I love these laces. They're like so incredibly chunky. I love them. I love them. I love them. All right, cool. Moving on. Bank robbers. I showed you guys my leather pair of bank robbers. These are a nubuck pair of bank robbers. I have to be super careful with them because this material is so delicate. Nubuck is like a suede where the hairs are very, very short. Very, very short. So like it's not very sturdy. It's kind of a, sort of like a waffle that's had syrup sitting in it for a long time. Not a very appealing idea for food. Great idea for a shoe. I love bank robbers so much. Beautiful. I really like this colorway. I wear them just occasionally so that I can keep them safe. I love bank robbers. All right. Final shoe, final item. I bought these this week because I went home to Georgia to hang out with my family, see everybody. Everybody was coming in from out of town, just from my immediate family, so like all 5 of us were there. And I bought some shoes because my family is very big on hiking, and we do not go on normal hike things. We go on very... You guys are talking about me doing a collab with Zoomies and H&M and stuff. That's very funny. And Fashion Nova, of course. We do very serious hikes. We go on like really, really big time hikes. And so I needed some shoes to go on a big time hike because I only had 1 pair of shoes that I came there with. I was there the entire time with 1 outfit. And so I got a pair of Salomon's to hike in. And I love how these shoes look. I like Salomon's in general. Most of us, I think, know Solomon from the collab that they did with, oh, how is this name escaping me right now? Not Carol Christian Powell, it's the motherfucking, how am I forgetting this, guys? Who did the collab with Solomon? Boris Bidyan Sabiri, thank you. Gosh, how did I forget that? Boris Bidyan Sabiri. I'm terrible with nouns, that's my problem. But yeah, they have the speed lacing system on them. So it's like, whoop, they lace like really quickly, and then you can like pull that down. And then, I didn't realize this, my mama showed me this, that like when you are putting them on and you are done doing the speed lacing system, the speed lacing system does not sit out, it just gets tucked into the tongue of the shoe. The front of the tongue of the shoe is a little pouch, and we're able to tuck the speed lacing system into that. And it's very beautiful. I love how these look. They're comfortable, and like I hiked in them and stuff, but basically I got home from that hike and I spent like the evening like cleaning them because I was like, I think I just want to wear these as shoes now, and wear them as shoes I do. I love how these look. Solomon designs, very on point. Had to get green, obviously. Apparently green is like my favorite color to buy clothes in. Really like green. Bliss, are you Margiela, man? So that's it. That is full wardrobe. We've now like reviewed the entire thing. We've gone through every single item, which is really nuts. I really appreciate, I know for a fact that some of y'all have been here the entire time, and that y'all were, hey, Streetwear Night Live in the cut. What's up? Oh man, bro, we have not talked about this in forever. We're not doing a fridge tour. I am not good about food, everybody. How many hours is the entire collection? I think the first one was like 2 hours even, then the second one was 3.5 hours, and then this one is working up towards 200 minutes here. Oh, what's up, Marley? I didn't know Marley was in here. How's it going? All right, so we're gonna shoot the shit for a little bit. We're gonna hang out a little bit, take some like open question time. We're still looking to get a total of 5 new patrons before the end of the stream. We have 3 so far. Nappy, Odalabai, and Hoy. All original gangsters who like actually joined the thing. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. 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 Do it, man. Yeah, get on the Patreon, and then Streetwear Night Live was like, damn, I'll have to get the Patreon. You should. You should get it before the stream actually ends. You should, because the Discord is incredible. The Discord is really, 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 really good, and it's only for the Patreon subscribers. Okay, so let's look at some general questions. Let's see, we have general stuff. Let's, what do you think of Walter Van Beerendonk's new cloud shoes that look like Vapor Max? I haven't seen these, hang on. Walter Van Beerendonk cloud shoes. Let's see what I think about these cloud shoes. Oh, those are so cool. Oh shit, I want them so bad. Oh, they're very sold out. Those are so neat. Those do not, those maybe vaguely look like Vapor Maxes. Those are not, if you were, maybe you weren't asserting this at all, but yeah, anybody who would assert that those are somehow ripping off the Vapor Maxes, I don't think that's true at all. Those are so weird. Like many of Walter Van Beerendonk's things, they are compelling because they are like beckoning me to touch them. I like am looking at it, and it like activates the same part of the brain that like, I guess like porn activates or something, where it's like it's compelling you to like want to touch even though it's an image. Those soles are so weird. Everyone should look up Walter Van Beerendonk's cloud sneakers. Those are incredible. And I'm saving them to my, oh dang, Lindsay's Pinterest is logged in. I'll have to do that later. Okay, more questions. Those are beautiful. Thank you for showing them to me. I had not seen them. Do you consider Margiela's fashion as art? Yes. I don't think Martin considered it to be art, but I definitely consider his fashion to be art. Martin drew a very specific distinction between fashion and art, because he said that fashion is so, in paraphrasing, he said, fashion is so contingent upon the needs of its purpose. It's kind of like architecture, where it's like, it's not art, it's got a purpose. It's for something, but there are artistic elements that can be involved with it. I personally just see it as art, personally. But Martin, I think, would disagree with that, which is part of why I'm so excited that now he's doing studio art, is because he seems to have always had this great respect for artists and what they do and stuff, and this is a cool switch up. Hey, Eugene Lardy, Streetwear Night Live. Welcome to the motherfucking Patreon. We literally only need one more person to sign up to meet the goal here, people. Come on, get on the Patreon, get on the Discord. Patreon.com/BlissFoster, patreon.com/BlissFoster. Do it for the Vine. Thank you, Eugene. You're the man. Let's see. Do you consider Margiela's fashion as art? So yes, I do. The Walter Van Beirendonck shoes are crazy, said Ham. He saw them in person yesterday. And also, I think Walter Van Beirendonck would be very comfortable with his comparison, the comparison that I just made to porn. Like, Walter, you're kind of like porn. Does that make sense? He would be like, you don't have to explain. It does make sense. Thoughts on the rumor of Kira? Hey, thank you so much, Cameron Webb. Also on the Patreon. You're a G, Cameron. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get you hooked up with the Discord. Because in case anybody here thought that those Discord or the Patreon messages were being sent by some kind of bot, they're not. They're not being sent by a bot. They're being sent by me, and my phone is currently occupied doing a live stream. What's the link to your Patreon? It's patreon.com/BlissFoster. Fraser, go join right now. You're awesome. Okay. I will get on Patreon. Fraser has put the caps lock on. Caps lock engaged. I would join, but I don't have a card. Steal, Luke. You have to steal. I am actually encouraging everyone to please steal. As long as they're joining my Patreon with the steal. As long as you are doing a steal so you can join the Patreon. Walter Van Beirendonck shoes are a collab with a Japanese company. I forget the name. You can still buy them. Just non-collab versions without the Walter Van Beirendonck branding. I don't need them with the Walter Van Beirendonck branding necessarily. I might do it, Bliss. Do it. Steal, Luke. Steal immediately. Steal from anybody. Steal from your parents. Steal from a stranger. As long as you're joining the Patreon, man, it doesn't have a whole lot to do with me. I am encouraging you to steal. Bliss, what are your quarantine plans? My quarantine plans are that we have like canned soup and a lot of frozen meat and some frozen fruit. And I think we're gonna be fine. Those are the quarantine plans. I'm still going to work. My work is not closed down. Steal, Luke, steal, Master Yoda. Oh my gosh, someone said, please kill Angela Merkel, not. That was the silliest protest in fashion runway history. That guy deserved to be punched in the face by Rick. Oh my gosh, what a tool. Please kill Angela Merkel. Huh. Bliss, I promise as soon as I get my first military check, I'm joining the 30 USD tier. Damn, that would be sick. That honestly would be extremely sick. You would get like your name in the credits for every episode and stuff. That would be incredible. And also like the $30 a month tier is like a huge part of what makes this channel even viable. You would be joining a group with 3 other people. So I would greatly appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Fraser? Fraser joined. Fraser is a man of his word. If I mail you $3 a month, will you give me a Discord? Thank you, Fraser. I greatly appreciate it. No, because no. No, I'm not giving you the Discord if you mail me $3 a month. You have to get on the thing. You can't. Guys, you can buy like money cards and shit. Like you can sign up with like cards that you buy at Walgreens and stuff. Like it's possible to do this without like having registered for a credit card. There's other ways to do it. Google it or steal. Welcome back to the ASMR podcast. This is what everyone has paid your hard-earned money for. I'd like to encourage everyone to steal. Yeah, also you can use PayPal. Yep, you should do it. Steal, guys. Okay, so I'll mail you a 10, Bliss. Okay, guys. Sounds good. You're welcome, bro. Thank you, Fraser. Other questions? We're shooting the shit. and talking about stealing. Other questions? Fashion or non-fashion related? We can go to non-fashion related. We'll put it to 10 more minutes. Thoughts on golf wang? That's all right. I feel like golf wang sort of encouraged a lot of young men to experiment drastically with their wardrobe. And that's a very cool thing. That's no small thing. And I like his shoes. The shoes are often really cool. Those like flower joints in the bright colors, the Easter basket colors. Those are pretty cool. I feel like there's something to be said about those shoes. I think for the most part it's a mall fashion brand. So there's a strong identity with it, but the clothes are not very well made, and there's really not a lot of experimentation outside of the much higher priced items that are, they're only making 3 or 4 per size. So it is definitely a mall brand still, but that's cool because he made it affordable for all the kids that want to experiment. We crushed the record. We have 6 people signed up for the Patreon, but if anybody else wants to sign up, that's a good time to join because we have a bunch of new people surging into the thing. We'll have an exciting wave. Patreon.com/WillFoster. Come on, people, let's go. When will you come to Europe? That's a great question. So the idea was that we were going to go to France for over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks in June. It is looking more and more like that is not going to be possible, which is extremely disappointing, to be honest with you. I was going to do a Paris meetup and have everybody come out, and I was also going to an exhibition, which was going to be absolutely incredible. And we were also, Lindsay and I were going together to go to the Fête Galante, which if you live in France, you probably are aware of. If not, and you probably are not aware of it. It is a costumed ball that is held once a year at the Palace of Versailles, where you are required, in order to come at all, you are required to be wearing 18th century court attire. So Lindsay has this really beautiful fabric that's sitting draped over our couch right now. She was making herself a gown special for that, and was making me a suit, and I was gonna wear a wig, powdered wig, and all this wild shit to go to this, and I don't think it's gonna happen because everything's getting canceled. So I'm trying to be as much at peace with that as I possibly can. I have been doing a lot of reading and a lot of exercises around being peaceful and allowing things to happen and not trying to resist things that are already exist as real, tangible things in the world. And so I'm trying my best to kind of do my due diligence to keep my emotions at a place that I will be happy with when I'm looking back on this time in my life. But it is tough on this one because at this point, having paid for literally everything, I've already paid for lodging, I've already paid for the airline ticket, I've already paid for the very expensive tickets to go to this ball. I'm already on the press. I'm already on the press list for the Martin Margiela thing. So I would have gotten in a day before it opens, and I would have had one-on-one time with the curator, and I would have, I don't know, figured out which one is Martin, even though I haven't seen a picture of him in 30 years. I would have figured out where Martin was and gone and smelled him or something. I don't know. I had a lot of things that were either paid for or things that I had put a lot of planning time into, and so it's this is very painful. But yeah, I'm trying to be at peace with it. Because there are certainly worse things happening to a lot of people as a result of that. Because ultimately, me, I do feel inwardly kind of frustrated and disappointed about that. Obviously, those things are not happening for no reason. That is a very good reason, because we're trying to keep our grandparents alive, and some younger people too. So nobody should be dying because of this thing, and we're doing the best we can to keep it under control, and that is the right thing to do. Okay, sorry, that was a little longer than I intended it to be. I don't think I've talked about that publicly with you all yet, so
You know what would make me feel better is if you join the Patreon. Just kidding. That would be so shitty. Come to Brazil. I want to come to Brazil. You have a beautiful country. Damn, I really want to go to Brazil. What have you been listening to recently? The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soundtrack. I fucking love that. And I really, really love that Tarantino found some actual radio ads from that era and used those. There were some very poppin' ad music back then. I mean, stuff that is sample worthy. What's up, Arline? You are very late, but I am glad you're here. We're about to log off, but what's up? I'm so glad you're here. Arline is like our best commenter on videos. Arline is it's worth going back through the catalog so that you can find all of Arline's stuff and reading it, because she has some really great insights, and she owns and looks great in Rick Owens. I like APC. I like APC too. My eyeballs are like drywall. Get over it, Isaiah. Bliss, just know that my £3 a month for you is paid for indirectly by the Scottish government. Thank you, Fraser. I appreciate that. Man, you really like the Scottish government. That's great. It must be wonderful to be in a country where you're just like really proud and like wanting to gas up your own government. That is not true here in the United States. It's like almost like regardless of your political affiliation, you're just kind of like, how do you generally feel about the government and the job that they're doing? Most people in the United States would be like, not great. Not great, needs improvement. Or in my case, drastically needs improvement. Vote for Bernie Sanders, folks. Even though that's looking very unlikely at this point, everyone should go vote for Bernie Sanders, because the Democratic Party needs to shape their shit up and get a real candidate going so that we're not electing Botox and aviator sunglasses guy. But he is better than the alternative, of course. Quarantine got me locked in. Fresh buzz. You're very right, Rory. It is fresh buzz. I did it last night. Where can I go to a store? I'll sign up, said Luke. I don't know. You'll have to Google some ways of doing that, Luke. You're in San Francisco. I'm sure you can figure out a tech way of signing up for my Patreon. Thoughts on Dries Van Noten Vernon Patton collection from 2019? I've not seen that. Let me look it up. Dries Van Noten Vernon Patton. Oh, sick. Oh, yeah. No, this stuff was great. I thought it was just Dries. I didn't realize this stuff was a collab. I saw a picture of Jake Paul wearing these, and I was like, oh, gross. I don't like that guy. But overall, these are incredible. It's beautiful, beautiful shirting, beautiful pants. And I think that the matching outfits are great looking. I think those are great. And I guess we did see those a lot. I think, okay, wait, these shirts, like somebody proposed on Twitter. I forget who it was. He runs a brand too. Dang, I can't remember his name. But he was like, shirt of the year? Is this just shirt of the year? And I was like, wait, yeah, it is. And like my little small like Twitter clique of like menswear nerds that I hang out with on Twitter, we were just like, I think this actually is shirt of the year. So yeah, I love this shirt. It's beautiful. More questions. Got 2.5 more minutes. Maybe one more question. What's your favorite film? I've talked about that at length before. My favorite film is The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. I love Tree of Life. What are your favorite resources to use when researching and working on runway analysis? There is no single answer to this question. I probably get asked this question in DMs more often than any other question. There is no answer that is satisfying for this. What you do is you decide on a runway, and then you have to just Google the shit out of it, and you pull every interview with the designer, every feature, every review, everything, and you try to figure out as many details as is humanly possible about that runway show. Then you watch it like 3 straight times, like taking notes as you're watching, and Googling phrases that appear on the clothes and stuff. If the clothes are out in the world, like if the collection's already come out, you can look up images of the like final clothing that came out and like see if there's any details or like things that you might have missed from the runway show that you can see in the like actual product. What else? Oh, if the collection was recent enough, like if it was the most recent or like maybe one collection back for the house that was doing it, what you can do is you can get on Instagram and you can like search by hashtags like Balenciaga or like you can search like hashtag Balenciaga like spring summer 2020, or you could search like just hashtag Balenciaga and then keep scrolling back. You can look up their Instagram posts. A lot of times they'll divulge Gucci at least divulges a surprising amount of information about their collections on their Instagram posts. If you just search like hashtags like before, I've gotten a ton of information because I just searched like, this is an example, I didn't use it for the Balenciaga show, but like hashtag Balenciaga, and then literally just like put on a show and scroll so that you can get all the way back, because obviously there's billions of posts with hashtag Balenciaga on them. Keep scrolling, scroll forever, and then eventually you will get to the period when that show is actually coming out, and then on like the day and the day after and the day after that of the runway show itself, you will find all sorts of interesting people who are posting with hashtag Balenciaga. That is how I got in touch with the casting director for Comme des Garçons in order to ask him questions about that episode that I made. That is how I gleaned a lot of information about the Comme des Garçons hairstyle things at the time for the show that I covered like over a year ago, is because like people who are a part of the team will be posting with basic stuff like hashtag Balenciaga, hashtag Comme des Garçons, like, because I mean a lot of them are like older people who like are like, I don't know what to do with this hashtag thing, so they use either the most basic ones possible, or they use wacky ones like great, like hashtag great time or something, some wild shit. But I got tons of backstage photos, and like I got good views of the clothing that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten from like product shots and runway shots of that clothing, because I was able to search just like hashtag Comme des Garçons, and then I was willing to scroll all the way back to when that show happened. Yeah. Other than that, you just read reviews, you try to get a hold of show notes. There's no dependable way to get a hold of show notes. Sometimes using that hashtag method, you can find people who took a picture of the show notes and like posted it to their Instagram or whatever. Or you can just figure out which people were in the room at the runway show, and so you know that they were probably emailed the show notes, and I will, oh gosh, if I'm like really desperate, then I'll figure out like who was in the room through that hashtag method, and then I'll search, or then I'll figure out like who they work for or whatever, because like their name is on their profile, and sometimes like info is in their bio about what they work for, or why they got to go to that show. Sometimes they're buyers, and because I know that they got emailed those show notes later, I'll email them and be like, I beg of you, please, can I have the show notes from that one runway show? I know you were there. I saw it on Instagram. Please send me show notes. And 98% of the time, they will never no one will ever respond to those requests. Because they're afraid that like you're a spy for like another brand, and that you're gonna steal all of Comme des Garçons' secrets, and then they're gonna like figure out that they were the ones that gave it to you, and they'll ban them from shows for forever or whatever. People are very afraid in fashion circles of getting uninvited to things. So, but yeah, the research is all over the place. There's no single way to research. That's why it's so fucking exhausting doing that, and that's why like this channel is set up to only be like one episode per week for 11 weeks, and then we have to take a break, because like it's not, I mean, ideally I would be producing like two full-length episodes in a live stream per week, and we would do no breaks ever. It would just be 2 episodes per, and then like we do like 100 something episodes per year. But like that's just literally impossible if I have a job. So this is kind of all I can do. So let's get it towards sustainable independence with that Patreon. That's the biggest reason why supporting the Patreon is a big deal. Like the Discord is a ton of fun, it's awesome, but honestly, it's so that I can do more of this, like so I can actually like make this my job. Because make no mistake, I would very much like this to be my job. I feel like I was born to do this. I feel like I have, in a very real way, I've found my purpose. And this is like literally the only thing that I've made in my entire life that like I'm actually like very happy with, and that like I look at with a lot of pride. So I would like to do it full time. Please let me do it full time. Join the Patreon today. And guys, to be honest, like I don't want to get too gauche with this or whatever, but I have the $3 tier, the $3 a month tier there. That is in its place because I want people to be able to join the Discord, and that really does help. The $3 tier is the backbone of the channel. But I mean, guys, if you can afford it, support me at the $9 tier, and especially support me at the $30 tier. Those are, I mean, the three people thus far that are just absolutely incredible and have been supporting me at that $30 tier since the very beginning. Those people are absolutely incredible, and I don't think they're rich people. Like, to be honest, I think that all of them are just like normal people that work normal ass jobs. One of them, like I know for a fact, like works a very regular job, and I don't want to discourage anybody from being at that, but I don't think he's making over, 35K a year. Like, I mean, I think he has just a normal job, but he's supporting in that way, which is a huge deal. Anyway, if you can afford it, guys, I really, the $9 a month and the $30 a month especially, that helps out in a huge way. So, again, don't want to be too gauche, but if you're already on the $3 tier, strongly encourage you to upgrade it. If you are not joined and you really are not like pulling down a lot of money, I've been there myself, totally understandable. Get on that $3 tier, join the Discord, make more fashion friends, and I'm incredibly grateful either way. But yeah, just to say, if you can afford it, please support or upgrade your support. I want to do a video with Virgil so bad. Someone was like, when is the video with Virgil coming? For anyone who doesn't know, and this is gonna be the last thing, and then we're gonna call it a day. But I was DMing with Virgil a couple days ago. It was pretty cool. I realized that Virgil was following me on Instagram, and I like couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, I have to like triple check all the things, and I figured out that he is definitely following me on Instagram. I think it was somewhat recently, and so I like got really, yeah, no ads. Woo. And so I was like, I feel like I need to speak to him. Like, this is such a huge deal. Okay, calm down. And so like I figured it out when I was at the airport flying back from Atlanta, and I was like, okay, we're going to not do this right now, and we're not going to freak out, and we're going to get a little bit more control over our ability to respond to things, and then we're going to fly home, we're going to take a nap on the plane, and then when we get home and we're unpacked and we're settled, then, oh gosh, someone is at my door. Probably just a package. If they ring it again, I'll go get it. Calm down, and then we're going to actually like respond to this thing. And so I arrived at home and I sent him a message saying, I put together an analysis video and really like pulled apart the details of your Princess Diana show, which I really, really love. I didn't know if you had seen it before. Thank you so much for the follow. And I expected, because this man's DMs have got to just be fucking a jungle. Like it's got to be insane in his DMs. But mine was not coming through as a DM request. It was coming through as a normal DM because he follows me. And so it showed up, and I was not expecting him to respond or to even open it, to be honest. And then like within 30 seconds, he opened it up, and I'll read you the conversation. I already did this on my stream that I did the day of where I was freaking out about it, but let's see. Okay. So I said, I found a way to gather enough info to do a deep dive analysis of your Princess Diana show, showing people how much story goes into the details. You should check it out. Much love for the follow. And then I sent him the link. And again, expecting no response, he liked the message, and I was like, okay, that's fair. That is the best I can expect. That is great. He saw the message. Maybe he opened the link. That's awesome. And he responded, wild, thanks a million. And I was like freaking out. Hands were then like shaking. I was like crying a little bit with joy. Like I was sort of having a very visceral, emotional reaction to the fact that Virgil Abloh responded to my direct message. And I said, haha, I'm so glad you think so. I gotta scroll a little bit here. And I said, I hope your health has been well, man. And then he said, quarantine vision. And I got like a Virgil Abloh catchphrase in my DMs. Quarantine vision. I stumbled across your Margiela series. I passed the link off to a ton of friends. Key content I'm positive we all missed. And I said, wow, that means so much. And he said, keep slaying it. Such an important point of view 99% of fashion journalism misses. And I was like, damn, bro, you're killing me. This means so much that you would say so. And he said, a lot of people miss the point of all of this creative stuff when their first notion is to critique. you're making it human. And I was like, actually like full on crying at that point. So we said a couple other things to each other, and then I called like my best friends on FaceTime and just like screamed in my apartment for like a solid hour. It was really, really cool. And the fact that like I sent him that and that he was surprised and was like, oh shit, this guy's made an episode about me. And the fact that he somehow stumbled across the Margiela series and that he liked it, that meant just an enormous amount. It meant so much. Because I realize I am fully aware there are a lot of people who really enjoy hating on this man. I admire him and his work a great deal. I like him a lot, and it was a very real honor to have him say those things to me. It meant a lot. It's very affirming. So I think that story might be a good one to close us out on. Yeah, if you're on the fence, please join the Patreon, patreon.com/BlissFoster. The link is always in my bio for everything. It's always in the description of the videos. It's always in my my bio on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging with me. I know a ton of people were actually like here like the whole time, rocking out to our house music and some techno and shit. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening. Please stay safe and listen to what your country is telling you to do about the quarantine. Can't be too careful. Fraser, please. Oh wait, no, wait. Fraser already joined. Who was gonna steal? Who was promising to steal? Luke, go steal and join the Patreon. Y'all have an excellent evening. Bye bye.